This is PCA Lions Baseball. Prestonwood Baseball is brought to you by Freeform Chiropractic, Children's Health, Andrews Institute for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Harris Baguette, Cowboys Fit, Fast Signs North Dallas, Sky Ranch, Aquaterra Outdoors. Also by Texas Tiny Teeth Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics, Up-to-Date Roofing, Incentive Brands, Chick-fil-A at Plano Parkway and Park Boulevard, Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating, Global Strategic, Milestone Electric, and Vista Physical Therapy. Now, let's go to the ballpark for today's warm-up show.
Later than expected, but just a few days behind. Baseball season is set to start as we welcome you to Graham Field here in Plano for the opener of the 2026 season, as today the Prestonwood Lions take on the Faith Lions from the Grapevine area. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the warm-up show. Chuck Kelly with you. Haven't spoken in a few months. The end of the football season, of course, back in December, and hope you enjoyed our time together on that. But now we're invited back for baseball, and we're set to get this season underway. And for Prestonwood, what an opportunity this year with some of the talent that they have on the field, coming back from last season's state finalists, where they dropped a 2-0 decision to Central Catholic in the state championship game. They went 25-5 that year, last year. And, of course, now looking for bigger and better things as they have a whole bunch of guys back and a lot to build on under Coach James Villade, who starts his 5th season here at PCA. Now, the opponent, Faith, no stranger to some good baseball. See, I'm already stuck in football mode. But anyway, out of Division II District 1 last year, they went 26-6. But the thing for Faith is they lost almost the entire team. 8 starters gone from last year's club. So head coach Rob Vaughn, who has a great staff that he works alongside, has got to put some pieces together. They already have 1 game under their belt, 1 victory last week, so they have the one advantage to Prestonwood, which, by the way, if you're looking at your schedule, you saw, well, a couple of games last week. Didn't they play? No, of course, they had the carryover from the ice that we had. The field was iced over, and anyway, they just banged that and said, we'll get it started today. So broadcast number 1, and again, happy to have you with us. We're going to be here for all the home games this year. We've got big things in the future coming up. We start here with the home schedule, and there are going to be some good matchups early, of course, leading into district play a little bit later on. And again, today's matchup against Faith, the first of 2 between these two teams. Will be another game tomorrow, another 5 o'clock start. We'll be on the air at 4:30 for that one, as the Battle of the Lions, as those two teams get set to go at it. As far as the weather today, you couldn't have asked for a better day for February. I was joking with somebody earlier. Nothing says baseball like February, but right now in Plano it is 67 degrees, and that wind is blowing out of the south-southwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. It's from the right field corner to the left field corner. Looks like it would help the right-handed hitter tonight, but we'll see some good pitching on the hill. Now, again, as we get ready for this game, this is game 1 of the season, and although it's not exactly a spring training mentality, there is a very tender path with the pitchers that are involved because it's still early in the year. And even with the much heralded Savion Sims getting the start today for Prestonwood, we're not going to see a whole lot of him, but they're going to work through some of the pitchers, give them a couple of innings, and then move on. So a little bit of time under the belt. Anytime you hitch it up, you want to win the game, of course, and that's what each of these teams will be trying to do. But again, we won't have any complete games this evening. That'll be later on once we get through tournament play and get into the next stage, which of course would be district play a little bit later on. So we certainly invite you to stick around for the duration of this one, and we can get you into the evening. If you're just getting off work, we're glad to have you along. And of course, the first of every home game here will actually have 4 games involving PCA North, as we'll bring you some of their action coming up as well throughout this season. So all the way, hopefully, if you're a PCA fan, all the way to the state championship, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about that and a whole lot more coming up soon. So Prestonwood and Faith coming up. We'll take an opening time out here, and when we return, the head coach of the Lions, it's James Valade, coming up. All that and more. You're listening to Prestonwood Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? Hi, I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
Always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
See the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs, make your statement.
More from the Graham on opening day 26 as it is Prestonwood against Grapevine Faith. Back here on the warm-up show. And, of course, time now for the visit with the head coach of the Prestonwood Lions, and that is James Valade. The sports, the four major sports, basketball, football, hockey, they don't have the same panache as baseball. When you hear those two words, opening day, it is today. What does it feel like for you?
No, it's exciting. I always tell myself I made another opening day, and that's always fun, and it's always great to be back at the Graham.
So with this season coming up off a state finalist performance, this your fifth year, and so, you know, this is our first broadcast. If somebody's tuning in for the first time, they want to know a little bit about Prestonwood. So before we even get to the game, let's talk about the tradition that's been built here, and particularly, you know, under your 5-year reign, what you've accomplished, this being the fifth year, what is in place, what the foundation's like, and, you know, kind of what makes Lion baseball.
Yeah, I think from the jump, the history of the program is really important to us and our current staff. We've done what I believe is a really good job to remember the past, remember the history, and where we came from, celebrating teams in the past, and just it's not about us. I mean, this is about our history and those that came before us. So for me, there is a storied history behind Prestonwood baseball. You know, when you go into the lobby of the baseball area, you can see the Prestonwood to the Pros sign is up there. And most recently, Xavier Mitchell, left-handed pitcher for us last year, got drafted by the Angels, signed out of high school. So, and a lot of guys going to college. So for us, the past means a ton, but we're excited about this year.
From when you took over 5 seasons ago to where you are now, what has the path been like? We'll talk, I'm sure, throughout the season about things that have been building blocks and whatnot, but kind of a state of the Lion baseball program, if you would.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a program that embraces the mission of the school. I mean, it's a faith-first school. That's a big part of what we do. That's a big part of who we are. Our kids know that. Our coaches know that, and we're here to fulfill a mission. And having said that, you know, we're here to carry that on. And as far as the program goes, these guys are wired to work hard and fight hard for each other.
What kind of players do you look for when you're putting your team together?
Guys that play winning baseball. That's it. Guys that play winning baseball, and those are things that are addressed in practice every single day. Our guys buy into it. They love it. They look forward to it. But you know, winning baseball.
When you have that and you have the success you had, even from your year one last year, and of course this season as well, that culture they talk about that it builds on, how important is that?
Yeah, culture is how you treat people and how they treat each other. I mean, that's the most simplistic form of culture. It's not something you're going to put on a wall or something that you're going to bark about. It's how you live each day. And these guys come out here and play hard for each other every single day.
Some teams have to do the rebuild, the restock, going into a new season. For you and this 26 club, you got a lot of players on the good shelf that you're taking out and saying, "I've still got you. I've still got you." What are your expectations of this year?
Yeah, I think to build off of last year, I mean, we got to a state final. Not having Xavier Mitchell towards the end of the season definitely hurt us. He was arguably the best left-handed pitcher in high school baseball last year. We didn't have him for a long period of time, but it was time for guys to step up, and guys like Drew Thompson stepped up and threw in the state final. He did really well. But for us, we're returning a lot of guys, but we're also excited about some of the additions that are here.
With the names that people see, and there's going to be scouts watching your team play all year long. When you have that kind of presence, how does that affect the team or the fandom? I mean, is it exciting knowing that your team is under a bright light?
Yeah, I think reality is in the last 2 weeks we've had 29 of the 30 major league teams at the Graham, and this is opening day. So we've had 29 of the 30 teams come in, watch us. Our guys understand that is part of it, and that's part of baseball. I mean, you're always being evaluated. You're always going to have a chance to go show who you are and how you play the game, going back to playing winning baseball every single pitch. But it's exciting for us. I mean, I think that's what everybody wants is to be evaluated and be looked at as a guy that can make a difference.
Some of those names: Savion Sims, Henderson, the young Valade. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this field. So as you start to disperse the club and get it laid out for the season, what are your expectations? Team-wise, yes, but individually as well. How do you start from this point early in the year? Do you look at these early games kind of like spring training?
For us, it's about balancing out what the athlete needs, paying attention to their bodies, especially on the pitching side, which everybody's behind because of the weather. But for us, once we put guys out there, it's their team. I don't ever cross the line and score a run or get a hit, but we manage the ball game and we help guys sometimes with decision making. But a lot of times when they can take the leadership, it becomes a better jive, and we've got a lot of really good leaders on this team.
You mentioned the weather, which has knocked out a lot of practice time. It's actually knocked out 2 or 3 games already, and you do get behind schedule. So what do you have to do to make up for that?
Basically you have to trust guys' individual preparation. Try to have them understand that what we've been doing in the past is stuff that they carry on, especially early on.
So with this Grapevine Faith team coming in, you're very familiar with them. They have 1 game under their belt. Getting quality competition early, I know that's important to you. Talk a little bit about that.
No, it's a big part of it. We try to schedule aggressive by design. I think Robert Vaughn is a great coach. He brought his team to the state finals. We've played them every single year. He's an amazing person, amazing leader, does an awesome job with his club. And we love playing those guys. We really do. And we'll be back over at their place next year.
So, again, with this being day one, the fans coming out seeing the team the first time, do you talk to your team about opening day? Are there jitters involved, or is it just go out and play another baseball game?
No, I really think our guys playing don't even see the crowd, honestly. It's nice to have them here, and you'll hear them when they get loud, but these guys are very focused on the diamond, and we're proud of them for that.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck today and all season long.
Chuck, thanks. You have a great opening day.
Let's see what we can do. This is James Valet, the head coach, and his visit before every game brought to you right here on the Lion Warm-Up Show. We'll take a time out here, and when we return, we'll have the starting lineups and more to get you ready for this one. You are tuned in to Prestonwood Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
Well, the starting lineup is being introduced. Right now, we are almost ready for baseball. So what we'll do with one more pregame break set to go, we'll fire that, we'll pay some more bills, and when we return, we'll give you the starting lineups and have the opening pitch of Game 1 of the 2026 season. It is the PCA Lions and the Grapevine Faith Lions coming up right here from Metro Sports Communications. More after this timeout.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time, you know?
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Or in pain and not sure what to do? Schedule a complimentary injury screening and talk to our physical therapists at Vista PT to see if physical therapy is right for you. No prescription or referral is needed.
Women who served protected with the playing of our national anthem.
Playing of the national anthem as we get set to the start of this game between Prestonwood and Faith. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups. Get you ready for this one. First for Faith, which went 26-6 last year. Again, a state runner-up, coached by Rob Vaughn, the 69-year-old native of St. Louis, Missouri. Although he was born in Panama, he's in his 7th year at Faith with a record of 118-45. And again, he has a star-studded assistant coaching tandem, particularly his first base coach tonight, former Major Leaguer Jonathan Lucroy, who any Major League fan would recognize that name. Of course, Milwaukee Brewers fame, a catcher for a long, long time, but part of the group there at Faith. Of course, both these teams have great support staffs as far as the assistants go. Let's go ahead and give you the Faith lineup. Top of the order is Pedro Rivera leading off. He is the shortstop. Batting second is Cohen Ross. He is the second baseman. Jace Walker, one of the only returners, in fact, the only returning starter in this lineup. He's in center field batting third. Jesus Leon will be behind the plate. Leon in the cleanup spot. Colton Savage will be at first base. He hits fifth. Caleb Clendaniel will be the designated hitter in the sixth slot. Stone Thompson will be in right field batting seventh. Jordan Sloan will be the third baseman. He hits eighth. And Hudson Smith will be in left field, and he bats ninth. So it's Rivera, Ross, Walker, Leon, Savage, Clendaniel, Thompson, Sloan, and Smith for Faith. For PCA and Coach James Valade, the 53-year-old native of Morristown, New Jersey, hometown Gladstone, New Jersey. Of course, he went to Baylor, graduated there in 1995 as a captain of the Bear team. Then his record 103-16 in his 4 years. That's impressive at Prestonwood. Junior Niffen will lead off for the Lions. He's in center field. Trent Valade will bat second. He's the DH. Cruz Benuelos is the catcher. He hits third. Aiden Moffitt will be at third base in the cleanup slot. Max Bachman will be the shortstop hitting fifth. Riggs Huggins will be the first baseman. He bats sixth. Jake Felsman will be at second base hitting seventh. Quinn Majewski will be in right field batting eighth. Vance Hernandez will be in left field batting ninth. And again, no Les Henderson in the lineup. He has a hand contusion out for this game. So So scouts that came to see him will have to wait for another day as he's not in the lineup. So it's Niffen, Valade, Manuelis, Moffitt, Bogman, Huggins, Felsman, Majewski, and Hernandez. The big right-hander ready to go. Savion Sims, all 6'8" of him, set for the first pitch of the game, and it's swung on a high chopper out towards short. Charging is Bogman, throws across in time. 1 pitch, 1 out, and we are underway here in Plano as Pedro Rivera bounces out that high chopper. Our Bulva start time is 4:59, so anxious to get this one started. We roll a minute early, so as they say, better early than late, right? Well, except in broadcasting, but it's okay. We're ready to go as Cohen Smith now steps in for the left side. Smith, the second baseman for the Lions, who last year as a team hit .328 overall. It's a swing and a miss, and it's no balls and a strike here. Faith, we mentioned, 26-6, defending state finalist in their classification. Prestonwood, by comparison, hit .296 as a club. As back to the plate comes Sims, and there's a strike called, and quickly he's out in front of the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Our plate umpire is Garrick Fisher. He'll be calling balls and strikes. Sade Bailey is out in the field as a swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3. And Ross is gone, the second batter to face Sims, who gets his first strikeout of the year. And Savion is off and rolling here early, and there's 2 gone for Faith. Here comes Jace Walker now. He is the center fielder. Again, Walker, the only one with any significant statistics, coming back from 25. He had .375 on the year. No home runs and 15 runs batted in. The right-handed batter as Sims delivers outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. So Sims going to get a lot of pub this year. 6'8", 210 pounds. Played 3 years at Santa Fe High School up in Edmond, Oklahoma, and then transferred here to PCA. Is that fastball away, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. His dad, involved in the FBI, the IT department, moved here for job reasons, and it just seemed like a fair deal to say, hey, I'm here and want to play for a great team. And PCA, the place he landed, is back to the plate, a little check swing, and a foul back to the screen, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Sims has all kinds of talent. Of course, had 17 Major League scouts at a scrimmage recently. Again, not a game, just a scrimmage, but he's got quite the repertoire. As back to the plate, a strike, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 2-seam and a 4-seam fastball can top out, as we said, just over 100 miles an hour. He's got a splitter and a slider as well. They mixes in. The big fella ready to go. The 2-2 is swung on, and that one hit down the right field line into foul territory, just over the glove of the first baseman Huggins, who couldn't pull it in. So it stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway, top of the first inning. Faith and Prestonwood. Happy to have you with us here on PCA Plano Athletics.org. We'll have all home games here from Graham Field in Plano. Back to the plate comes Sims as he dials that one up. It's swung on and fouled out of play over on the first base side. And the count will stay even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The cleanup hitter, Jesus Leon, who head coach Rob Vaughn says this catcher who's coming up next will be one that some of these scouts will want to take a gander at as well, as he's a really talented player. That check swing, called strike on the outside corner, and down goes Walker, and 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Savion Sims, who sets him down 1-2-3 to get things started. So nothing doing for Faith in the top of the first. Prestonwood coming to bat. No score here from Plano as you listen to Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
No score as we go to the bottom of the first inning as Prestonwood about to get its first cracks at the plate as Junior Niffen getting set to stand in against the right-hander Cody Bowman, 6'3", 185-pounder, who also plays first base when he's not on the hill. So Bowman getting the call. A 2-year letterman in football, was the quarterback. In fact, kind of split time. They had 2 quarterbacks on that Faith team. Big frame, athletic, and going to be counted on to be one of the top-end starters on the team as far as the mound presence. He also has a lot of power at the plate. He's a transfer from Byron Nelson High School over in Trophy Club. His sophomore year he came over. But he's got that quarterback one personality, according to his coach, Rob Vaughn, as he's set to face Niffen. And the first pitch is inside. It's 1-0 to Junior, who's hitting at .290, no home runs, and 16 runs batted in. And speaking of football, Lion fans, of course, remember Junior for all of his exploits, particularly this last year as a receiver position, as he had 72 catches, just over 1,000 yards. He takes a strike and evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike at 8 touchdowns for Prestonwood, which made it all the way to the state championship game before falling to Parrish 14-7 down in Waco. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one is inside, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. Around the infield, Sloan, the third baseman. The shortstop is Rivera. Ross at second and Savage at first for Faith. Smith, Walker, and Thompson from left to right in the outfield. Leon behind the plate. Delivery swung on, and Niffen hits that one over on the left side. Third baseman seizes it. That's Sloan, and he fires across in time to retire Niffen, who has the great speed. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Trent Villade. You think, well, that name sounds familiar. Well, yes, it does. It is the son of head coach James Villade, and, of course, has a pretty famous brother as well, Ryan, that's playing in the major leagues, Tampa Bay. Be getting their season started here soon as he stands in from the left side batter's box. And the first pitch from Bowman's a strike, and it is 0-1. 346 last year for Villade. 3 homers and 16 runs batted in. Prestonwood as a team had 11 bombs last year, but they're very proficient on the base paths as they stole 100 bases on the year, an 85% success rate as he takes a strike. It's Villade. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Cruz Benuelos waiting in the on-deck circle. Bowman, not a hulking presence out on the mound as he is trying to get the first 2 batters he faces ready to go. Back to the plate. Swung on that one, chopped back through the middle toward the shortstop. Fielded right behind the bag. Rivera has it, and he throws to first in time. And there is out number 2. So that one hit right back through the guts of the infield. But Rivera had played nicely, and he's retired. There's 2 gone. Well, here comes the catcher, Cruz Benuelos. Hitting at .250 last year. Overall, 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Of course, one of the 2 Benuelos brothers on the team. His brother Christian also on the club is Bowman ready and comes to the plate. That one is a little bit outside, and it's a ball and no strikes. We mentioned Prestonwood last year at 25-5, losing to Central Catholic in the state championship game. They made it to the semifinals in 24. Knocked out in the first round in 23, and of course won it all back in 22. If you go back chronologically, as that foul ball makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. So a couple of powerhouse teams here. The 2 clubs, Prestonwood and Faith. And of course Faith with a state championship under its belt as well. It was back in 07. It's been a little while, but they're a perennial playoff team. As a swing and a ball shot foul deep down the right side, out of play. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here. The lights are on at the ballpark, and they always turn them on early, even when it's daylight, so it kind of fades in to the dusk time and isn't a big adjustment on the field. Eyes adjust along as the sun going down. It'll go down behind the first base stands. Swinging the ball hits sharply off the glove of the third baseman. A nice play. Sloan recovers, throws to first in time. What a play right there by the third baseman, Jordan Sloan, on a ball that was smoked by Benuelos, and it looked like it was going to be misplayed, but he was able to scoop it and get the throw over to first in time, and that will end the inning. So, a little leather flashed early as we go to the top of the second. No score between Prestonwood and Faith. You're listening to Lion Baseball and watching as well right here from Metro Sports Communications.
To date. Call us today and stay. Storm damage? Don't wait until it's too late. At Up to Date Roofing, we bring top quality craftsmanship, honest pricing, and fast service to protect what matters most, your home. From repairs to full replacements, we keep your roof and your home up to date. Call us today and stay covered, rain or shine. Up to Date Roofing, keeping you covered no matter the weather.
Now on the mound for your PCA Lions.
Well, as we go to the top of the second, as promised, it's going to be a exchange of pitchers. We're going to be moving through some here this evening. As Trent Valade, who started at DH, will stand in for Savion Sims, who again, was very impressive in the first three batters he faced of the season. Got a ground ball out and back-to-back strikeouts. So Sims perfect in his first outing, and now in steps Valade. The right-hander getting loose on the hill. The big 6'5", 215-pounder is senior, who was the district player of the year last year. A first-team All-Stater. He's committed to Texas A&M and has some good numbers coming back from last year. And Valade on the hill made 8 appearances. All of those were in relief.
Now batting, number 2.
And no record, but his earned run average was 0.80. That's pretty good. It's not like Dean Wormer's 0.80 as the pitch high for a ball, and it's now 1 ball and no strikes to the leadoff hitter, Jesus Leon. The catcher standing in from the right side will be Leon, Savage, and Clendaniel for Faith. Back to the plate. That fastball is outside. And it's quickly 2 balls and no strikes. Valade on the hill throws a fastball in the low to mid-90s, a curve and a slider, as well as a changeup. So a 4-pitch pitcher as that fastball is high, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes. Well, through two at-bats, 2 half innings, we haven't had a base runner so far. But at 3-0, Leon trying to scratch on base right here as he takes that one all the way, and it's now 3-1. An artificial surface here at beautiful Graham Field. Of course, the Lions and block lettering behind the plate. As that fastball is swung on and lifted high in the air on the infield. Coming on is the second baseman looking up into the clear blue sky, and it is Felsman there to haul it in, and there is out number 1. So Valade rallies back from that 3-0, and on the 3-1 pitch gets the pop out to the second baseman, Felsman, as Jake looked like he was battling the sky a little bit. You know, a lot of times when you watch pro games in Oakland, they talk about a high sky. And I don't know if that was the case because there's no clouds at all right now, but he got underneath it, made the catch, and there's 1 gone. Here's Colton Savage now. The first baseman takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Savage, the 5th hitter so far in the ballgame, and we have yet to have a base runner. As Faith, we mentioned already, with 1 game under its belt. Another strike call there, 0-2. Trying to get off to a 2-0 start on the year as Colton Savage waiting for this next delivery. And here it comes, and that one's high for a ball. Now goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Savage on the hill, the plate rather, a junior, also plays catcher when he's not at first base. He's a very versatile player. He's around the infield. That breaking ball just missed outside, and it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Savage, according to his coach, a real grinder, one of those guys who really loves the game, and he's really connected. It's a swing and a ball popped out of play with former major leaguer and assistant coach Jonathan Lucroy. He says he's really helped to develop his game as he stands in from the right side batter's box. Of course, anytime you can get that kind of instruction from a major leaguer, you can take all that you can get, right? As the 2-2 pitch, that is a breaking ball. And it's now 3-2. You wonder, how did Jonathan Lucroy get to Faith? Well, his young son, 7 years old, enrolled in school there and said, okay, well, I'm going to talk to you about maybe being a baseball coach. Bring a little bit to the table. Rob Vaughn got a heck of a deal. As that pitch just missed outside, ball 4, and we get the first base runner of the ball game coming on the free pass now. And that'll bring Caleb Clendaniel to the plate. So Valade coming with good velocity here early, but he misses there on that 3-1 pitch. And now Savage, first base runner, will be held there at first base by Huggins. And now we'll see the right-handed hitting Clendaniel, who stands in. Quick check over to first before all is said and done. Clendaniel, really a blue-collar grinder as well. He'll be one of the Faith starting pitchers this year. He's a really bulldog on the mound as that pitch out of the zone. It's now 1 ball and no strikes here. He can make hard contact at the plate once he connects with it. Clendaniel batting down in that number 6 spot in the order. Of course, for the Lions, they'd love to turn 2 here early on, as that pitch is a ball. So now goes to 2 balls and no strikes. The Lions, PCA that is, of course, both teams' mascots, the Lions of this game, have to differentiate there. PCA turned 10 double plays last year. They love one here as that fastball missed outside. Now he's behind in the count is Valade at 3 balls and no strikes. So Trent, you have to dig out of a hole here. Fell on the mound, certainly has the headspace to work out of any situation. He's got a tremendous baseball IQ. And the saying about him is one you've heard about a lot of people, that he hates losing far more than he enjoys winning. So either way, it works out. Here's Valade to the plate. That one gets a strike on the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3 balls and a strike. So we'll see if he can battle back here, as did Bowman in the top of the inning. Or I'm sorry, in the bottom of the first. So we'll see what he can do here on the 3-1 as he checks over to first base. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. And now the count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Clendaniel, with Stone Thompson waiting in the on-deck circle. Just underway, top of the 2nd inning. High school baseball, 7-inning game if you're unfamiliar. So early stages here. That pitch just missed the outside corner, and down to first goes Clendaniel, and there are 2 runners on now with 1 out for Faith, and that'll bring Stone Thompson to the plate.
Now batting, number 7, Stone Thompson.
And now James Valade comes out of the first base dugout, of course, with his son on the hill, father-son Chad out to talk about things right here in a situation, settle them down a little bit. A chance to remind you that PCA Baseball this year brought to you in part by Freeform Chiropractic. Certainly support them for being along. And, of course, Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, longtime partner of PCA. Paris Baguette. Well, that is a good place right across the street if you want to go get some delicious pastries and what have you there at Paris Baguette. And, of course, Cowboy Fit, also proud sponsor of today's game. So a short visit on the mound. Just want to settle them down a little bit. And again, the double play still in order. They've got the opportunities to get down here near the bottom of the order to face Stone Thompson, who did play on the club last year, got some varsity time, hit .250, some limited play, no home runs and 7 runs batted in. For the right-handed batter is a check back to second base, and here's the pitch. That's a slider for a strike, and it is 0-1. Nice breaking ball there to Stone Thompson. Has a twin brother on the team, Max. Actually, they're triplets, 2 of the 3 playing on the team, as the delivery is a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. So whatever Dad told son, certainly working here, because he's come back after the back-to-back walks to throw consecutive strikes. here to Thompson. We'll see if he tries to finish him off here. Might try to get him to chase with an 0-2 pitch. Outfield playing him to swing late. Check back to second. Filleted with a bonus look, and now that bluff going that way. Yeah, Stone Thompson, one of the Thompson boys, the brother Max, also on the team. It's a swing, and that ball is hit off the glove of the first baseman, Huggins, and in to the right field corner, down toward the corner. A run will score, and into first base is Stone Thompson, and it's 1-0. As that sharply hit ball hit toward Huggins, and that one got past his glove and down the right field line. Didn't make it quite to the corner as Majewski got over there and chased it down quickly, but as it is, the run scores, and Fate takes an early 1-0 lead. We'll see how they score that one. Charge an E there, so that's going to make that an unearned run for now, as it was hit sharply toward Huggins, who couldn't field it, and that allowed Thompson to reach. Daniel goes all the way around to third. Now runners at the corners as Jordan Sloan stands in. Sloan had that outstanding play at third base to end the bottom of the first inning. Now gets a chance to hit here with a couple of runners on base. Back to the plate, breaking ball, called strike, and it's 0-2. So again, after that visit from head coach James Valet, Trent has been throwing a bunch of strikes to these Faith hitters. Unfortunately, that one to Thompson a minute ago got pulled sharply to first. Here's a breaking ball outside, and it's now 1-2 strikes. One out here in the second. 9-hole hitter Hudson Smith waiting in the on-deck circle. 1-0, Faith with the early lead. Now Valade set at the belt and does the double bluff with nothing going on. You can still see that occasionally in high school ball. Of course, they outlawed it in the pros. Can't do that anymore. It was made famous back in the 70s, if I remember, dating myself a little bit here. It was Steve Busby who used to pull that off with success for the Royals. There's a breaking ball. Strike on the outside corner, and that was a generous edge there by the plate umpire Garrick Fisher, but Valade will take that every day of the week as he gets his first punch out. And there is out number 2 here in the second inning, and that can allow the infield to relax back as they try to get the final out here as they get to the 9 order. Again, that was a breaking ball, but that was on that 18th inch of the plate. And we'll see here now what Valade will do to Hudson Smith. The left fielder stands in for the left side batter's box. Again, runners at first and third. 1-0 Faith. Swing and a miss. Fastball blew it past him, and it's 0-1. Top of the order, Pedro Rivera is on deck. But for Trent Valade, he just as soon slam the door right here and keep this a 1-0 Faith lead. Right-hander ready. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew that one by him as well, and quickly is 0-2. Again, you look at this Faith order. They got only 3 hits in their first game against Covenant Christian. They won that one 6-5 at only 3 base hits. They struck out 10 times as a team. So, again, a new batting order, and they're trying to get their chops underneath them. That pitch bounced in. Runner goes towards second. They're going to throw back to third, and they do not get the out there. Sliding safely was Daniel, who got right back in. That pitch skipped in quickly. Benuelos jumped on top of it, and the runner was heading towards second. And they went ahead and let Thompson advance, but over at third, they thought perhaps they could get Daniel coming down the line, but a tag applied just a half second late there by the third baseman Moffitt. So a ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-0 Faith here in the top of the second. Lefty Smith digging in. Valade trying to finish his inning. Here he comes to the plate. That's a fastball. That one lowered away, or so says plate umpire, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Faith losing 8 position players last year, having to try to restock the barrel this season as the 2-2 checked to swing. It was outside, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. I mentioned 26-6 last year in Division II, District 1. State Finals lost to Lutheran South 11-0. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside quarter, and that'll do it for the inning. As Valade comes back with back-to-back strikeouts to end the frame. That's 4 in the game by PCA pitching. But an unearned run puts Faith on top. They get a run, no hits, those 2 walks, hurting a little bit there, an error in the inning, and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the second with our new score, Faith 1 and PCA nothing, as you enjoy Lion baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
And a commitment to excellence. Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time, you know?
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Bottom of the second inning, PCA set to go to work here with 4, 5, and 6. Aiden Moffitt leading off against Cody Bowman, who delivers the first pitch outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Moffitt to be followed by Bachman and Huggins. Middle third of the order for Prestonwood, who went down 1, 2, 3. All ground balls in the bottom of the first. A check swing and went around on that one. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Moffitt last year for PCA hit 266. With a homer and 15 runs batted in. Slotted in that cleanup spot today. Again, good looking bat from the left side. Back to the plate with another breaking pitch. It misses. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. Again, no Lash Henderson in the lineup today. A hand contusion keeping him off the field for PCA. He'll be back soon enough, but not in today's opener. That pitch is swung on and hit in the air. Left center field chasing back. That one is going to get down and go all the way to the wall. On his way to second is Moffitt. He'll throw on the brakes there, and a leadoff double in the first hit of the ball game for PCA as Aiden Moffitt strokes that one to left center field. Well, that's a good start to the inning for Moffitt. You're looking at his numbers last year, had 3 doubles, so that's his 4th in 1 year and 1 at bat. As now Max Bachman comes to the plate, the shortstop who had 256 last year, no home runs and 15 runs batted in. So the tying run in scoring position for PCA. And now Bowman will have to go to work here as he checks back to second base and comes to the plate. That one ticks off the glove of the catcher, but quickly Leon pounces on it. No chance for Moffitt to advance. We're talking about Bowman a little bit earlier and some of the things that are expecting from him. 85, 86 is fastball, very tight curve and a slider. Throws a nice 2-seamer. One of 3 pitchers we expect to see today for Faith as that pitch sails inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Max Thompson expected to go, and Meyer Clark probably in the rotation as well. Here in game number 2 of the season for Faith. Again, this is the opener for PCA. Back to the plate, swinging a ball hit through the whole left side, base hit. Quickly on to play it is Smith, the left fielder, and he'll get it back toward the infield. They're going to have to chase it down over near the dugout, and on that throw on to second goes Bachman. And that'll be a single and an error, and now 2 men in scoring position for the Lions, who get back-to-back hits here in the inning. Bachman did a nice job putting that one through the hole over on the left side. And again, the left fielder Smith got on it in a hurry, and he returned it to the infield, but the problem was there wasn't anybody there to return the throw, so it's kind of an unfortunate error that gets charged to Smith, but you got to account for that to allow the runner to move up to second base. So that perhaps and open the door even further for the Lions now as Riggs Huggins stands in, the first baseman, and takes the first pitch for ball 1-0. Well, you know, Huggins wants to even his score here right now because he was charged with an error in the top of the first and a ball that was hit really hard toward the bag. Of course, when you play on artificial surface like you have here, the true turf, the true hop, you would expect that play to be made. Back to the plate. That one is going to be a ball, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. 1-0 Faith. We're at the bottom of the second inning, but the Lions are threatening with 2 men in scoring position and nobody out. Huggins at the plate. Jake Felsman winning the on-deck circle over on the first base side. Now Bowman ready as he sets at the belt, comes to the plate. That's a breaking ball for a strike. And now goes to 2-1. We mentioned the shade line here at the ballpark comes out from the first base side and really home plate and moves out toward center field. And you can see it on your screen there. And of course, that shade comes from the home stands of Lions Stadium behind us. Of course, the football stadium and the baseball park abut one another. Here in Plano is the 2-1 pitch. Is a curveball outside, 3-1. Prestonwood Baptist Church, of course, just beyond the left field corner, over across the street there. Beautiful Prestonwood campus. So we got their school here on this side of the street, church over on the other. All kinds of great things going on in this neck of the woods. Is the 3-1 pitch. That one is swung on and lifted foul, I think, down the left field line. It'll go down the corner. Yep, back out of play. And the count now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. We're at the bottom of the second inning. Reese Huggins at the plate. He's just a sophomore. Had some varsity at-bats last year. Was an honorable mention all-district performer as a DH last year. Power bat from the left side as Bowman ready to go as the sign payoff pitch is on the way. And that one is fouled away again. This one down the left side. So battle going on here between Bowman and Huggins. Felsman again waiting his shot on deck. Taps in for the left side. Huggins, just his batting helmet. Now he waits on Bowman to get set, and instead of doing that, he asks for time. He's tired of waiting about it. He's going to step out. So we mentioned that shade line, which is now pretty much across the infield. There's a little bit, as you see, out beyond second base, or in front of second base, I should say, and then beyond, still sunlight, and of course, all the outfield still in sunshine as well. 3-2 pitch, high and away, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Well, after a beautiful start to the ball game for Cody Bowman as he retired Prestonwood 3 up, 3 down in the first. He's run into some trouble here in the second inning. A double, a single, and a walk, and the bases are now filled. And a heck of an opportunity right here for Jake Felsman, who stands in from the right side. And going to be a little bit of a Houdini act here if Bowman's to get out without any damage, as Felsman, the senior, stands in. Third year here as a starter, committed to Navarro down in Corsicana. Hunkers in from the right side. The first pitch on the way inside almost nicked him, and it's a ball and no strikes. Felsman, not the biggest fella, 5'8", about 170 or so. So it looks like there's going to be some action about to start up down the left field line in the Faith bullpen. Felsman talking to the Prestonwood coaches, a little bit of an Altuve-ish build, as that pitch is a strike, and it's now 1-1. Again, if you have the production that Jose Altuve has. It doesn't matter if you're 5'8" or 6'8" or whatever 8. You can hit it like that. But he's a pesky do-it-all guy. Has the best hands on the team, no doubt. And Felsman with a big chance here with the bases loaded. And Prestonwood down by 1 as Bowman comes to the plate, pumps the fastball inside, and now goes to 2 balls and a strike. So that's the one thing you don't want to do here, get behind in the situation. With Felsman at the plate, Majewski waiting in the on-deck circle. That wind now has settled down a little bit. At the start of the ball game, it was about 10 miles an hour out of the south-southwest, and now it's barely rustling the flags a little bit out in center field. As the 2-1 delivery, swung on that one, ripped foul outside the bag at third. Boy, that would have cleared the bases if it made it down to the corner, but instead, just a foul, and it goes now to 2 balls and 2 strikes here. So Felsman got around on that pitch. Jake Felsman. And then right side batter's box. Had 23 hits last year. 2 of those were doubles. Now set is Bowman, working deliberately here on this pitch. Here it comes. Curveball stays high, and it's now 3-2. So Cody Bowman has no more wiggle room as he's used everything up here, and it's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nowhere to put Felsman, so you have to challenge him right here. So Jake's licking his chops. They play even with the bag at third, middle of the infield at double play depth. Wide of the pitch, fastball low, ball 4. And we're even at 1 as back-to-back walks by Bowman. And crossing the plate, Aiden Moffitt. And an RBI for Jake Felsman as everybody moves up 90 feet, and they'll take that every day. That makes it now a 1-1 ball game, and for Prestonwood, an opportunity now to really put a big inning together as Quinn Majewski comes to the plate, the right fielder. Another left-handed stick. And again, we mentioned there's action in the Faith bullpen. And, you know, they want to let Bowman have opportunity to get out of this here as he throws a fastball strike on the inside corner. And it's 0-1. So it's going to be quick hooks, I don't think, early in the season as far as game management. But you don't want to let it get away either. So it's one of those fine lines you have to walk in a situation like this. Just see what Bowman can do as Majewski want to try to get a big swing here as that breaking ball strike on the outside corner. And quickly, Bowman jumps out in front of him. Had no balls and 2 strikes. Quinn Majewski, a junior, battling for that right field spot. As he is getting the start there today. Here's the pitch, swung on, and that one is hit down the right field line into the corner. That's extra bases. 1 run scores, 2 runs scored. Let's see if they will send Felsman. Now they're going to put up the stop sign to throw behind Majewski at second, and that is a 2-run double, and it's now 3-1. Quinn Majewski jumped on that pitch and absolutely drilled it down the right field line. And the merry-go-round started as Bachman came across, followed quickly by Huggins. And now, a visit to the mound, and we'll see if the hook is coming here, or something to try to extend it a little bit longer. All of those runs are earned now. That error on the throw coming in earlier from Smith basically is erased as far as the scoring, as all those runs, as we mentioned, go in the earned category against Bowman. And Felsman on the play, going around to third base. As Majewski at second as he picks up a double. We mentioned last year, Preston with 51 doubles on the year. They've got 2 here in the second inning. And this conversation continuing out on the mound as that is former University of Texas pitcher Ray Clark. Or is it? Let me double check on that. Looks like younger than Ray. I haven't seen him in a while, but anyhow, that's the pitching coach. They go out for a quick visit there. And we'll see now what Vance Hernandez does. As Hernandez, who came on late to play for Prestonwood in the football season, was injured most of the early part of the year, but he came back and got on the field a little bit down in the playoffs. Hernandez has an opportunity here now in the 9 slot with 2 men in scoring position, and still nobody out in the frame, and Bowman delivers for a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, again, these teams are going to meet again here tomorrow. So back-to-back games. And Prestonwood now with this 3-1 advantage. Delivery is swung on, and that one is lifted in the air towards center field. Moving over to his right, making the catch is Walker, tagging at third, and coming in to score is Jake Felsman, and a sacrifice fly for Vance Hernandez drives in another run, and Prestonwood extends its lead to 4-1. Well, that's the way you do it. Get it on, get them around, and the sac fly, which will signal the end here for Cody Bowman as he gets through the lineup. And we'll hold it here as we'll have a pitching change. A new hurler going to be coming in for Faith, as this has been a big bottom of the second here for the PCA Lions, as they still have only 1 out recorded in the 6 batters that have come to the plate. If you're just tuning in, Aiden Moffitt, after PCA went 1-2-3 in the first, Moffitt led off with a double into left field, and Max Bachman came up, singled, moved him around to third base. And then Reese Huggins walked, and Jake Felsman followed with a walk as well. That tied the game at 1, and then after that, Quinn Majewski with a double down the right field line. Plated both Bachman and Huggins, and then Hernandez came up with the sacrifice fly. He plated Jake Felsman. And that's where we are right now, 4-1, as we have the pitching change. And they bring the left-hander into the ball game that we knew was going to be coming at one point or another, as Max Thompson now comes in, and he is loosening up on the hill. So Thompson relieves Bowman, and we'll close the book on him. Well, I guess you can't, because you still got the runner at second, so we won't do it. We'll tell you that he did go an inning and a third. That we know for sure. And he gave up a total of 3 base hits. So far, 4 runs, all earned. He is responsible for the runner at second. That is Majewski. He walked 2 batters, and that was costly because both came around to score, and he didn't strike anybody out. So that's the early line for Bowman, who's done for the day. Now Max Thompson set to come in, and we'll see what he has up his sleeve as he's loosening up on the hill. A chance to tell you that PCA Baseball brought to you in part by Fast Signs North Dallas. Want to thank them for their support. Also Sky Ranch, as well as Aquaterra Outdoors and Tiny Texas Teeth, Pediatric Dentistry, and Orthodontics. All of those proud partners of PCA Baseball here through PCAPlanoAthletics.org. And we're happy to have you with us. We'll be right back on the air tomorrow, 4:30. with the warm-up shows. I invite you to stick around for day 2, back-to-back action. Go to work tomorrow, knock off a little bit early, and either come out to the ballpark and enjoy it, or you can certainly tune in here and enjoy as well. So Max Thompson has his warm-up tosses out of the way. Now, he's just coming back, is Thompson, into live. Only been in a couple of weeks. He's a 2-year letterman, but he suffered a broken left wrist late in the summer. It was a mountain bike accident, broke his wrist, and he's just gotten back from that. So he's going to try to work his way into it here as Junior Niffen stands in for the right side. Niffen, who bounced out to third his first time, 0 for 1 with the runner at second. And he's going to make Thompson wait just a second before he delivers that first pitch. 4-1, PCA on top here in the bottom of the second. So we moved crisply through that first, but this second inning's bogged down a bit. This hitter's starting to make some noise. That is a breaking ball, and that one is going to be ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Max Thompson, the twin brother of Stone, who we've talked about earlier. Now, the Thompson boys can play some baseball. There's no doubt about that. But There's something else they can do very proficiently. Is the 1-0 pitch, bounces in. Nice block there by the catcher, Leon. Those fellows are accomplished golfers. You don't want to go out on the links with them because they spend a lot of time. I think they have an off period at the end of the day, and they say they'll sneak over there and get in a little work on the golf game and get back to baseball practice or whatever. But, yeah, as Coach Vaughn, he goes out and plays with them and said, no, not not going to do that. They're pretty good, the Thompson boys. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a miss. Wasn't there a music group in the 80s, the Thompson Twins? Yeah, okay. I didn't just make that up. That's true. Okay. I thought, wait a minute. Thompson Twins. I've heard that before. I'm dating myself again. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the check back. Max Thompson ready. And comes to the plate. That one is high and away for a ball. Now it goes to 3 balls and a strike. So, well, they haven't had the command of the zone here in this second inning, and that's what's opened the door for PCA and the Lions. You're not going to have to give them a whole lot of rope to get their offense started. That wind, by the way, is kicked back up now, and it's blowing from the right field corner toward the left field corner, about 10 miles an hour. That would help a right-handed batter. As we have here is Niffen takes that pitch high for a ball. And the speedster goes to first base as he draws the free pass. That is the 3rd walk of the inning. And Niffen, who again, the unfortunate part of that is he's got the runner Majewski in front of him jamming up the bases. So you can't get Junior moving unless the ball is hit. Now you get him on with nobody on base, he would probably be quick to run. Again, 100 stolen bases last year as a team for Prestonwood. As the 8th batter of the inning, set to come up, and Trent Valade as the check back to second, and the pitch on the way, taken for a strike, and it is 0-1. I don't think Valade necessarily agreed with that as he backed out from the left side batter's box. Again, a tall fella stands close to the plate from the left side. Outfield playing him to pull. In fact, quite a bit. Center fielder Walker way over toward right center. That pitch hit him as it came in and got him downstairs, and Valade the hit by pitch. So Thompson comes in the game, and back-to-back hitters given some ground as Niffen draws the walk, and then Valade gets hit by the pitch, and that'll bring Cruz Benuelos to the plate, who hit the ball hard to the third baseman his first time. He was robbed on that play by Sloan. Made a spectacular play to end the inning. A ball that looked like he bobbled, but he managed to gobble it right up and get the throw over to end the inning. First pitch bouncing in. Nice block by the catcher, Leon. Again, he's a good one as he snaps that one and back to the mound. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, 9 batters here in the inning. 4 runs have scored. The bases are loaded for the second time in the frame. And for Thompson, not wanting to let this one get away from him, but having to go to work here as that breaking ball stays high, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Now, again, with everybody graduating last year, I mean, it's kind of like a tryout early in the year. If you're head coach Rob Vaughn, you've got to put people in situations and see what they can do, because you don't have a Savion Sims at the top of the pitching order, or anybody that would be following, at least nobody in the returning categories. That pitch is high. Of course, Sims not a returner for PCA, but someone of that ilk. No one there to lead the way. So he's just going to have to, work his way through the early situation as Coach Vaughn and try to see which one of the cream rises to the top for his team, as it's now 3 balls and no strikes after that last pitch, as Benuelos is going to be watching for one here, and instead he takes a pitch outside, ball 4, and that's indefensible. You can't defend the free pass as a run scores, and it is now 5-1 PCA. Well, Majewski crossing the plate. Moving to third base goes Niffen. And Valade on at first, beg your pardon, at second, I should say. And Benuelos stays at first base Is now standing in for the left side for the second time in this inning is Moffitt. He got this whole thing started with a double, came around to score a run. Now, one thing that I'm noticing here is that there's no change at first. This is my first TAPS game I've seen. So the adjustment of sending a courtesy runner for a catcher, that's not an automatic thing in TAPS. No? Okay. See, I'm learning. I'm having to learn the game. Called UIL for 35 years. So it's some of these things. Of course, you got a smaller roster here. Some of those UIL teams, you may see 30 players in the roster. A little bit smaller numbers in TAPS. But, yeah, I'm surprised to see Benuelos because normally it's automatic. You know, over in that other league, you get a catcher on, he's out. It's automatic. It's a throw to third, I should say. They slap the tag down on the runner there, Niffen. So Niffen at third, Valade at second, Benuelos at first. Moffitt, one swing of the bat could really open this one even further up. I mean, it's 5-1 right now, but the Lions looking for more. The Prestonwood Lions, of course, the same mascot for Faith, as the left-hander delivers that one down in the zone. It's now 3-0. So yeah, I could get a little bit sketchy here, depending on how this inning goes and future batters coming up. Because again, early in the season, you're just going to let some guys work through some situations. That may be the case here with Max Thompson, who takes a little off and gets a little get-me-over pitch in the outer part of the plate, and it's now 3-1. There's one out here at the bottom of the second inning. 5-1, PCA on top, and Moff looking to do something more right here. That open stance from the left side. Here's the wind of the pitch. That one is swung on top toward the first baseman. Coming on to play it there is Savage to the plate. They'll get the force out there on Niffen coming in. And that's the second out of the inning as all the runners move up 90 feet. But they pinch Junior on a 3-2 putout. Moffitt reaches at first on the fielder's choice. And on the play, Benuelos moves up to second base, and Valade goes over to third. And, of course, on at first is Moffitt. I'll bring up the 11th man to hit in the inning. That is Max Bogman, who singled his first time and scored a run as he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. The Lions 25-5 last year, making it to the state finals. Very stocked lineup this year. It's going to be interesting to watch this ride throughout the season as the 0-1 pitch took a little off and a swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. So Max Thompson settling down a little bit there. He's going to see significant time this year on the mound.
Oh, fuck.
Usually will be a reliever.
Dude, that's...
Of course, his brother Stone, we mentioned, plays in the outfield. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And stepping out of the plate momentarily is Bogman. To have a little timeout. And now back in. Here's the lefty ready. 2-strike pitch on the way. That one's the breaking ball. It stays way high. Well, the Lions, who had that 1-2-3 first inning, have really opened it up here in the second and have a 4-run cushion at 5-1. And one swing of the bat could extend that. Max Thompson trying to make sure that doesn't happen. As a throw to first after that pitch outside, and they tried to catch the runner Moffitt napping as the first baseman Savage over to apply the tag, but he was too late. And to count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the second inning. Again, tomorrow back on the air at 4:30, 5 o'clock first pitch for PCA and Faith out of Grapevine as the 2-2 pitch inside a little bit, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Faith opened back in 1999, won a state title we mentioned around 07 in that area. Very accomplished program in football and in baseball as well. There go the runners. 3-2 pitch is fouled back, and we'll have to do it all over again. Of course, Bases loaded, 2 out. They're going to send all the runners. Valade at third, Benuelos at second, and Moffitt at first. Now standing back in for the right side is Bachman. Runners go again to pitch. Fastball inside, ball 4. And that'll force set another run as Max Bachman gets the RBI as crossing the plate is Valade. And it is now 6-1. So, again, a bit of an uneven outing so far for Max Thompson, but have an opportunity to battle through it as he will now advance down the order with Riggs Huggins standing in. Huggins, who walked and scored his first time. So you look back at this entire inning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks and a hit by pitch. As a strike called, it's 0-1. Doesn't take a genius to tell you that's not probably going to work out well for the team in the field, the team that's pitching, because that's a whole lot of free base runners against one of the top teams in the country. As the 0-1 delivery's outside, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Cody Bowman went an inning and a third. By the way, the book closed on him now as he wound up surrendering 5 of the 6 runs. Now a 6-1 lead for Prestonwood. That pitch is outside. They'll throw behind the runner at third, but sliding back in safely there was Benuelos. So an inning and a third, 3 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts for Cody Bowman. And now Max Thompson, second pitcher of the day. Peers over the glove. The left-hander ready, the 2-1 pitch. That one is high and away, and it's now 3 balls and a strike. Well, early in the year, opportunities abound for players to stand out. Last year in that 26-6 year, Faith as a team had a team earned run average of 1.61. That fastball outside, ball 4. And that'll force in another run as that is walk number 4 issued by Max Thompson. He's going to get a visit from his catcher, Jesus Leon. He's going to go out just to try to say, man, get your breath. It's okay. Back to work you go. As Benuelos, by the way, came in to score just a minute ago. The good news about that is to get the opportunity to bring in, get his catching gear on. That's what I was trying to say before he comes back out. And in the meantime, there's going to be another pitching change as Thompson's day is done. As we're going to call to the bullpen here. We'll have to keep it here for another minute, as it looks like they are going to summon Meyer Clark, right-hander, out of the pen. I think it's a little bit earlier, perhaps, than what Coach Rob Vaughn thought they would like to see, but he brings in Clark, and he'll start loosening up on the hill. And that'll be the third pitcher of the day. Well, this is a good start to the season for this Prestonwood team, which had some key losses last year. Of course, you heard James Valade talk in the pregame show about left-handed pitcher Xavier Mitchell, who had some injuries there last season as well. 13th round draft pick by the Angels. Would have gone to Texas, but had the opportunity to play for the Halos. So pretty big loss there. And of course, another pitcher, Landon Murphy, a PCA lifer, who led the team in innings pitched, was a second-team All-Stater, first-team All-District, and the district pitcher of the year, as well as an academic All-State. He moved on to UT Arlington, maybe their Sunday starter. Outfielder Braylon White is a cleanup hitter. He's going to Howard Junior College. And C.J. LaBeouf, who we'll see his brother Steele tomorrow getting the start. LaBeouf now at Hill Junior College, was an All-Stater and a district player of the year. So a whole lot of talent moved on, but there's a whole lot left in the cupboard for the PCA Lions, and we'll see how it all comes together there. Of course, this is only the first of however many games they get in, usually around a 30-game schedule after all is said and done, but you wait and see how many playoff games and whatnot before you add it all up. But anyway, a good start in this one. And man, you look at Max Thompson's line, he is going to Well, he's going to avoid infinity because he did get the one out there, but he's going to leave some property on the base paths as he's got 3 guys still out there. Let's see. In the 6 batters he faced, he walked 4 of them and hit another and didn't give up any hits, did he? No, he did not. But a whole lot of damage, perhaps. He's given up 2 runs so far, but he's responsible for those 3. They're out there now, and Clark comes in to try to close the door here, and we'll see what Meyer can do in this situation. A sophomore who also plays basketball. Now, he's not going to be able to play tomorrow because he's got a district basketball game that he's going to have to go play tomorrow and Saturday in Midland and in Lubbock. So this will be his only action to play baseball here this week as Clark delivers first pitch strike. We mentioned his dad, Ray Clark, was a pitcher for the University of Texas, played on that national championship team back in 2002, and just one of the all-time good guys you'll ever meet, Ray Clark. And you say, well, how do you know that, Chuck? Well, I'll tell you. After Meyer gets ready in the 0-1 pitch, right-handed batter at the plate, Felsman, and the delivery. Swung on, and that one is hit high in the air, deep to left field, chasing back toward the track. Now underneath it, and making the catch is the left fielder Smith to finally end the inning, and a big sigh of relief for Coach Rob Vaughn as Myers Clark comes in, and Meyer does the job, and that story will have to wait for just a few minutes. So in the inning, there was a total of 7 runs scored. Now, all of that damage came on just 3 base hits. There was 1 error, and the bases were left loaded. So we go now to the top of the 3rd and a brand new score. It is PCA 7 and Grapevine Faith 1. You're listening to PCA Baseball and tuned in as well. These old radio habits die hard. You're enjoying PCA Lion Baseball right here from Metro Sports Communications.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
Well, this game is open wide up as 7-1 PCA on top as we go to the top of the 3rd inning, and there's going to be a 3rd pitcher already for the Lions, and Coach James Valade as F.J. Guignard comes in. The fabulous Frenchman is going to come in and see what he can do in the 3rd as he relieves Trent Valade, and we'll go back over to first base, or I guess go to first base. It's the first time that he has gone there. Huggins started the ball game as Valade was the DH. So anyway, after all of that, Valade goes there, and Guignard is into pitch down. We'll tell you a little bit about him as he becomes the 3rd hurler so far in the ball game. Guignard last year pitched in 5 games. He made 1 start, had a 3-0 record and a 1.31 earned run average. As the right-hander ready to face the first batter here for Faith, which is the top of the order, Pedro Rivera, as he throws the first pitch strike, and it is 0-1. Rivera bounced out to the shortstop his first time, so he's 0 for 1 here in the game. Guignard ready. And here comes the pitch. That is a breaking ball for a strike, a beauty, and it's 0-2. Guignard last year, 10 2/3 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 8 hits, had 14 strikeouts and 7 walks. And again, a 3-0 record and the 131 earned run average as a swing and a miss. Strike 3 and a big off-speed delivery to the plate, and down goes Rivera. One gone here in the third inning, and that is strikeout number 5 already in the ballgame by PCA pitching. Well, here comes Cohen Ross now. Ross struck out his first time. Guignard ready to go in this lefty-lefty matchup on the way, and this one is thrown inside for a ball. Well, we mentioned that they had 10 strikeouts in that first game against Covenant Christian, a game they won. It's a swing and a ball hit in the air toward left, chasing back, turning toward the fence, and over the head of the left fielder Hernandez, and that one will hit right in front of the line and go to the wall and into second with a double as Cohen Ross. It looked like Hernandez just didn't get a good read on that as he kept spinning and turning back toward the fence and finally bounced in, and that is the first base hit of the ball game. A double there for Ross, and he's in scoring position. Now for the number 3 hitter in the lineup, Jace Walker, will stand in the right side batter's box. Walker, again, a 3-year letterman in the football team, as a slot back. Just a pure athlete. Play anything you put in front of him as he takes a strike, 0-1. His dad, Brent, a big Aggie, and Jace wants to be an Aggie. That's where he pretty much has circled and where he'd like to go. I mentioned his football prowess. As that pitch showing bunt, pulls the bat back, throw down to second. That one almost got into center field as it was snapped down there by Benuelos, but nice play by Bachman to get over and keep it from going through. But talking about Jace Walker, his brother Jackson was a linebacker, his twin brother Jackson, a linebacker on the Faith football team. So great competitors there for each of those fellas. 1 ball, 1 strike, runner at second. They play tight at first with the lead. For the right-handed hitters, that pitch bounces in. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. 7-1, PCA on top. We're in the top of the third inning. Jace Walker, 4.6 speed. Probably the strongest pound-for-pound guy on this Faith team. Check back to second, and the pitch swung on. That one hit just over the bag at third, and it is a fair ball down into the left field corner. That'll score a run. On his way to second, RBI double for Jace Walker, and it's now a 7-2 ball game. Well, that pitch hung a little bit there from Guignard and absolutely pounded by Walker down into the corner, and that allows Ross to cross the plate. And RBI number 1 of the year for Walker. And it's now 7-2 as the cleanup hitter. Jesus Leon comes up to the plate. The first pitch is going to be outside for a ball. Leon popped out to the second baseman Felsman in his first at bat, so he is 0-1. Leon is from Venezuela. He can absolutely rake at the plate once he gets going. Here's the breaking ball, drops through for a strike, and it is now 1-1 on the batter. Leon is projectable as a catcher or a third baseman. Working with Jonathan Lucroy, and you can imagine, former Major League catcher dealing with a catcher here in high school. He got a little bit of direction there. So he'll probably be a third baseman at the college level. The pitch popped back out of play. Kind of a Manny Machado type, perhaps, as he stands in for the right side. Leon finds himself behind now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to F.J. Guignard. Guignard, again, a Frenchman. I'll tell you all about him, but he's not going to tell you about him because he's one of the quietest guys on the team. Understand? Check back to second, throw back, and the runner gets back in plenty of time there. Guignard, 6 foot, about 180 pounds. He's also battling for that right field playing time as well. We told you he and Majewski each trying to throw their had in the ring there. He's a transfer from Lovejoy, came over his freshman year. Gignard, as that pitch bouncing in, skips away from the catcher. Runner will move up to third base on a wild pitch. So Walker on that 58-foot pitch that came in and skipped past the catcher, Benuelos, or at least off to the side, I should say. Allows the runner to third base, where he's there with less than 2 out and a chance here to deliver for Leon. Here's the pitch swung on, and that one is hit in the air out toward the second baseman. Felsman has it. No chance for the runner to advance, so a weak pop out there by Jesus Leon, and there is out number 2 here in the inning. So a nice job by Gignard to get that particular out of the way. And now with 2 gone, he can go to work on Colton Savage, the first baseman, who walked and scored his first time, as he comes up from the right side batter's box. So Savage looking to get a 2-out hit here. And the first pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. Talking about Gignard just a minute ago. Has a fastball in the low 90s, throws a slider and a changeup as well. 3-pitch mix. That pitch is going to be low for a ball. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, you expect to see probably, I'd say a half dozen or maybe one more pitcher in these 2 games to start the year, as that one just missed a little bit outside. Of course, it depends on pitch count. This early, you don't want to have, anybody go too far. You saw Savion Sims, who, if you blinked, you missed it. He came out and had that perfect top of the first with the ground out and 2 strikeouts, and he was done. As that pitch is a strike, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm not game changer savvy, so I can't go on and tell you how many pitches that he had, but some of the folks here in the press box, maybe they know how to do that. I wonder how many pitches Savion did throw. It's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Savage. So a nice job by Gignard, who gives up the run but comes back to close the door. A couple of doubles in the inning, a run, 2 hits, and 1 left on. So we go to the bottom of the third, a new score, PCA 7 and Faith 2, as you enjoy Lion baseball from Metro Sports Communication.
Hey there, Lion Nation. I'm Rudy Casanova, owner and president of Global Strategic Business Process Outsource Solutions. In athletics, teamwork is everything. Each player has a role, and when they come together, they achieve greatness. At Global Strategic, we believe the same principle applies to the workplace. When the right people come together, your business thrives. Let Global Strategic help you build a winning team at work. Visit www.globalstrategic.com for more information and schedule some time with me or one of my team. The Casanova family and Global Strategic are proud supporters of the PCA Athletic Program. Go Lions!
Are you injured or in pain and not sure what to do? Schedule a complimentary injury screening and talk to our physical therapists at Vista PT to see if physical therapy is right for you. No prescription or referral is needed.
Meyer Clark out for his second inning of work for the Faith Lions as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Chuck Kelly with you here on Lion Baseball. Again, back to work tomorrow at 4:30. Same opponent, same venue. So again, knock off work a little bit early. Come out here to the park. Got a pretty good gathering here tonight. Weather certainly played along, as mentioned at the start of the game. 67 degrees to begin, and might get a little bit nippy as we get a little bit further into the evening, but certainly nothing that would make it an unpleasant night. 63 right now at the ballpark, so it's not like you have to bundle up as sometimes you would be apt to do in March baseball. Of course, this is February ball, and the difference between the two, and again, I'll probably reference UIL a couple times in the course of the year, but UIL doesn't start for about 3 more weeks. It's usually the next to the last weekend in February. Well, TAPS was supposed to start last week, and with the remnants of the ice storm, they wound up wiping out those 2 games that were scheduled, and then even a third, and said, we'll do it all on Thursday, but they picked a beautiful day. So anyway, here we go now, and in the bottom of the third inning, and after a total of 13 batters hit in the last inning, it'll be Quinn Majewski to start things here in the third. He takes the first pitch from Meyer Clark inside and low 1-0. Well, I teased in the last inning how I knew a little bit about Meyer Clark and his dad, Ray Clark, the former UT pitcher, and the way that came about is thus. After the 1-0 delivery on the way, it's outside 2-0. I coached this young man when he was a youngster. I'm guessing probably 6 years old. And I'm saying I coached. That's probably using it literally. It's the ultimate daddy ball. But Ray Clark was also, kind of helping out on that staff. And also former Major Leaguer Scott Podsednik, who played for the White Sox for many years. As that foul ball over on the left side, 2 balls and a strike. So there was me and a couple of guys, one that played in the College World Series and another that played in the majors for a whole lot of years. And it seems like it was just yesterday. Now, it was 10 years ago or so, maybe 9, 10, whatever. But that's how I know Meyer. And he's grown a little bit since I saw him last. It's a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. But I do know that Ray Clark is just one of the nicest, most Christ-like men that you'll ever meet, and soft-spoken. But, man, he knows baseball and a good guy to be around. So I know very much that the man on the mound right now would be in those footsteps as well. Feel like you can root for it. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one is outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Majewski to lead off, set to be followed by Hernandez and Niffen as we play here in the bottom of the third inning. It is a 7-2 ball game. Lefty at the plate, waiting here as the light starting to take effect as we reach dusk here in north central Texas. That ball is swung on and lifted in the air on the infield. Shortstop looking straight up. Rivera comes to the edge of what would be the infield grass and makes the catch. And there's out number 1 as the pop out retires Majewski. And that'll take us to the number 9 slot in the order for Vance Hernandez. Hernandez got a sac fly RBI in his first at bat. Good way to start the year. Standing back in for the right side. Hernandez, we told you that early at bat, played a little bit near the end of the Lions football season this year. He came back from injury that kept him out throughout most of the season. But now ready to go here on the baseball diamond. As the set of the belt. And here's the pitch. That one is a strike called outside corner. And it's 0-1. Top of the order, Niffen waiting on deck. Well, a couple of weeks of home games here at the Graham. And then there will be some road action going on for the Lions as they go tournament play. That pitch low away for a ball. They play in the Drew Medford Classic. They're going to play against my old alma mater, Weatherford, in one game. So I get to see them in that one. They're also going to be playing a tournament down in Bullard. And do you know where Bullard is? You do? Okay. Well, we've got some nodding heads here in the booth. It is actually down below Tyler. So if you're familiar with East Texas, you know where Bullard is. And that's going to be a pretty decent tournament. That last pitch takes it to 2 balls and a strike here to Vance Hernandez. Yeah, I was somewhat familiar, but I did have to go take a look. Thought it might be worth a Google, and found out exactly where Bullard was. You have to stay in Tyler. You're not going to stay in Bullard as the 2-1 pitch. That one is 2-2. Hey, if you're tuned in here and you're going to go to that, here's my advice. It was given to me by their athletic director. He said, do not go anywhere near that school at 2:30 on any day. He said, because you're going to be sitting there for an hour and you're not going to move. So either get there early or get there after. Don't get caught in that traffic in that Bullard tournament if PCA is playing during that time. Here's a pitch. It's high for a ball. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. See, you don't get that kind of advice just anywhere. So if you're going to that tournament, be advised. 1 out, bases empty. Bottom of the third, 7-2. PCA on top. Meyer Clark to the plate, swinging a roller hit over in the hole on the left side. Nice play by the third baseman. Sloan throws to first in time, and that retires Hernandez. Well, Sloan with a couple of doozies here, and that one was good range to his left. As the ball not hit especially hard, but it was in the hole between Sloan and Rivera. And a nice job by the third baseman to get it and throw over in time to retire Hernandez. And that'll take us back to the top for Junior Niffen, who has bounced out to third and walked in his first 2 at-bats. He was one of the only PCA Lions who didn't score in the second. The reason he didn't is he got forced out at the plate. That pitch is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Junior's saying, what? I didn't get to score like everybody else did. They put 7 across the plate in the inning. Only he and Vance Hernandez of the original 9. Of course, Hernandez that sac fly, so he didn't reach base. That pitch skips in. It's now 2 balls and no strikes, as they sent 13 to the plate there, and messes up your scorecard because you got to make necessary adjustments, and that's what I'm doing right now. Here's the pitch from Clark. That one is going to be low, not below the knees, and it now goes to 3 balls and no strikes here to Junior Niffen. Trent Valade, first baseman, waiting on deck. 5-run cushion for the Lions. Again, a pretty decent crowd here. It's made its way out for game number 1. I would expect a little bit more tomorrow. Got more Chamber of Commerce weather coming up tomorrow, as that pitch is a strike, and it's now 3-1. You don't want to lose any more games. I mean, you only got so much time to make them up, but you know, these early season games and Mother Nature, you know, bringing the rain, and a couple weeks ago all the ice, you got to play around. As the 3-1 pitch, that one is taken high for a ball, and there's the first walk issued by Meyer Clark as Niffen goes to first. There's a dangerous base runner right there, as Trent Valade will come up, and we'll see what they do with Niffen. We told you, during football season, talked about what great speed he has, and he displayed it last year. The bases had 9 swipes out of the 100 PCA had as a team. That pitch was inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The starter Bowman went an inning and a third, gave up 5 runs on 3 hits. Max Thompson lasted a third of an inning. Got only 1 batter out of the 6 that he faced. Was tagged for 2 runs. Both of those earned. Runner goes from first, and the pitch fouled at the plate. And that was a little bit of disappointment there for Valade, because Niffen had that one swiped all the way, but foul tip will send him back to first base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Early on pitching, trying to find its way. Runner goes from first. Pitch is a ball. Throw down, not in time. Stolen base for Junior Niffen. You knew that was coming, as he gets the first swipe of the season for Prestonwood. Looking back at all these base runners, and good night. Have there been plenty so far, but that's the first steal, as he's now in scoring position. Again, you think PCA comfortably in front at 7-2, but high school baseball, you can get back in a hurry, and so tacking on some additional runs wouldn't hurt a bit. As Niffen now at second base in scoring position. The pitch to Valade, that one is inside for a ball, and it's now 3 balls and a strike for the Texas A&M bound Valade, who again fills up that left side batter's box big time. Valade 6'5", about 215 pounds or so. District Player of the Year last year. Here's the pitch, swung on, and that one is popped up on the infield. Let's see who's going to call it. The catcher is going to jump out in front of the plate, Leon, and takes control, and that is the inning. So you had the pitcher, you had the first baseman, everybody looking, trying to decide who's going to get it, but it was Leon who took charge, and the catcher said, I'll do it myself, and that ends the inning. So after that 7-run second, PCA fails to score in the third. No runs, no hits. The walk is stranded, and we'll take it to the top of the fourth. The score, PCA 7 and Faith 2. You're tuned in to PCA Baseball for Metro Sports Communications.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
With friendly and knowledgeable dealers who install long-lasting and reliable systems, you can trust Comfort Maker to keep you a step ahead with advanced technology and exceptional comfort.
(7-2) as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Or beg your pardon, top of the fourth inning. Looking on the board, and already got the 0 up. I don't know if this is foretelling or what, but F.J. Grignard back on the mound, getting loose, came in to relieve Valade, who was the second pitcher of the game. By the way, looking back over the line so far, again, doing a little bit of filling in on the fly. The one inning for Sims, and of course nothing but the 2 strikeouts that he managed to get there in the 3 batters that he faced, and he was done. Then Valade wound up going in a third of an inning. No, I beg your pardon, went 1 inning. As the first pitch is a ball. That's why you don't do this on your own during play. Trying to do this on the fly. I had something incorrect here in my scorecard, and I will fix that right now, and we'll get back to action. Okay, a ball and no strikes, and back to the plate. Inside for a ball, and it's now 2-0. So now let's go back to Valade. He pitched 1 inning. He gave up 1 run. It was not earned. No hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. That ball fouled out of play, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. Grignard is in his second inning. He gave up a couple of doubles and a run there in the third as he faces Caleb Clendaniel, the DH. Didn't mean to fail to introduce this young man, but back to the plate. Pitch is high and away for a ball, and it's now 3-1 to Clendaniel, who's really a barrel-up hitter at the plate once he gets hot. And, of course, the bats, catch up once it starts getting warmer. As that delivery, it's a called strike of the innings. He thought that was ball 4, and he's about to trot toward first, but the plate umpire, Garrett Fisher, said, nope, come back here. Full count, bases empty, nobody out here in the top of inning number 4. Here's the pitch. That one is outside, and he got his free pass right there. And I'm kind of surprised that Fisher could have called that one either way, but Clendaniel will throw the bat away, go down to first. They're scheduled to see. Well, wait a minute. We're going to have a courtesy runner who's coming into the ball game. We'll have to break out the field glasses and see if we can do some quick identification on who that is for Faith who's going in.
Now batting, number 7, Stone Thompson.
It's going to be Jack Boren who's in to run. Boren, a junior.
Pitch runner, Jack Boren.
He'll go into first base. Here's the first pitch on the way now to the next hitter, Zone Thompson, and he takes ball 1, 1-0. Thompson reached on the hard hit ball to the first baseman. Against back in the second inning, it allowed that run to score. Charged an error, but again, it was a toughie. Did allow that run to score, so he'll throw over to first base. Here's a swing and a ball hit into center field. That's down for a base hit. Stopping at second is Boren, the pinch runner, and now Thompson winding up with base hit number 3 in the game so far as he whacked that one right up the middle and hit it well into center field as Niffen got it back in, and that will take us to the number 8 spot of the order, scheduled to be Jordan Sloan. Quick chat out on the mound as Cruz Manuelis goes out to talk to Ginyard. Make sure that he is locked in as he gets set to face the number 8 guy in the order. With 2 on, this is what I said earlier. It was looking like it was going to be a runaway at 7-1, and then Faith got the run to cut it to a 5-run deficit. But now a little bit different story. With 2 on, one swing of the bat could bring him back to within 2. Of course, PCA fans hoping that doesn't happen. Check back to second, sending Boren back. Again, Clint Daniel reached on the walk. Boren, the runner, comes in for him. Then Thompson, that single center field. So 2 on and nobody out for Sloan. S-L-O-N-E, how you spell his surname. As he stands in from that right side batter's box. Here's the pitch from Ginyard, and that one is going to be a strike. That was a breaking ball, and it is now 0-1. Sloan stepped out momentarily, now back in. Big fella, 6'2", about 195 pounds. That's the wide of the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and it is 0-2. Thing about Sloan, who is in Coach Vaughn's math class, so he gets to be around him a lot. He said this is the most country kid you will ever meet. I'm talking about belt buckle. His family's from Comanche, if you know where that is. That's out of ways. I mean, that's even down below Weatherford where I grew up. So, a whole family's from Comanche, and the family, obviously likes it there in the outdoors. He's an avid hunter. But again, just a big-time country fella. Played JV last year. He does have some power as he stands in from that right side batter's box. Runners at first and second, nobody out. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Setting the pitch, swinging a ball hit sharply toward third. Gobbled up there by Moffitt. He'll go to the bag, get one, throw across the infield, not in time. Trying to double up the runner Sloan, but they'll settle for the force out that goes 5 unassisted as Moffitt doing the smart thing to get the lead runner and then tried to double his pleasure with that throw across to first base. But Sloan there to beat the rap, and Thompson goes up to second, so they get Boren coming down. I may have said Clint Daniel. If I did, I apologize. It was Boren, the pinch runner that came in for him. So 5 unassisted pinches Boren. And now Thompson at second, Sloan at first, and Hudson Smith, the left fielder, standing in for the left side, and Smith waiting on the first pitch from Ginyard. And here it comes. Fastball away, 1 ball and no strikes. Hudson Smith in the top of the order. Pedro Rivera, as they're trying to get into it. Straight A student, Smith. He's great in the classroom. Played JV last year. Had a great fall camp. Made his way to the varsity for Faith. Is stepping off the rubber is Ginyard. Don't reset everything here. Coach Rob Vaughn told me, he said, you can say that really about a lot of their players. They've got a lot of academicians on the team. I mean, smart kids. Well, he tried to drop a bunt down the first base side. It's a beauty as Valade plays it, and all hands are safe. That was an absolutely beautiful bunt by Hudson Smith, who dropped it down the first base side. Valade came in and played it, but he had nowhere to go with it, and all hands are safe. And the base is loaded now as we go back to the top of the order, and this is a definite threat as the tying run now in the on-deck circle for Faith as Pedro Rivera, who is 0 for 2. So we're going to have another pinch runner coming into the ball game at second base. And this is going to be Mason McGill. Mason McGill, a sophomore, coming in to run at second base. So we get him in there as he comes in for Sloan. As the first pitch, breaking ball, and it's strike. 0-1 here to Rivera. Again, a ground out to second and a strikeout in his 2 ABs. And Rivera, with one swing here, could make this game very interesting. Here's the wind of the pitch. Swinging a foul back. As Coach Rob Vaughn said, he is just an exceptional, and that's the word he used, an exceptional baseball player. Has the highest baseball IQ on the team. In fact, he went ahead and took it to the next level, and he said, really, he's the best shortstop that I've ever had, ever seen. So that's some high praise there from the skipper as that ball delivered. Now 1 and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the top of the order. Pedro Rivera. It's a transfer from Prosper High School. A couple of these Lions transferred from there. It's a swing and a ball hit back. If you know anything about UIL high school baseball, Prosper, one of the state powers year in and year out. Seems like the Eagles always getting into the regionals as the Rockwall teams and the Flower Mound teams and South Lake Carroll, all those teams usually making it deep in UIL tournament play. That pitch is a ball, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, both of these teams, PCA and Faith, making it to state finals last year, albeit in separate classifications. Faith 1 step down from PCA in size. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that one is fouled back. So it stays 2-2. 7-2 the score. Boy, you expect this kind of early in the year, but I mean, that first inning might have lasted probably 12 minutes between, maybe not even that, between the two. Just bam, bam, bam. And then after that, into the mud we went, and we have not emerged since then, as we're over an hour and a half here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Swung on, hit right back to the mound. Winyard had it, fumbles it, and instead of going home, he throws to first to get the safe out, and a run scores on a fielder's choice and an RBI there for Pedro Rivera, as that one is hit sharply right back to Gignard. And if he had fielded it cleanly, he could have come home and probably would have had a 1-2-3 double play that would have ended the inning, but it came back so hot, he just dropped it, had the presence of mind to pick it up, and again, even more smarts, not to try to rush a throw to the plate. He said, hey, I got a 5-run lead, now 4, and I can get the safe out at first. That's what he did. So heads up for Gignard as now Cohen Ross comes up, who doubled and scored a run his last time. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. So again, that moment, that play a moment ago, goes 1-2 and forces in Stone Thompson, who scored that run. Gignard hoping that, or wishing that he could have put that one away with the double plays. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike of the last delivery. Ross again 1 for 2, the strikeout, the double, and the run scored. Swings at this one and rolls it out towards second. Charging, making the play there is Felsman, and he throws to first in time to end the inning. Jake Felsman with a nifty glove to come in and make the play and put the lid on that one before any further damage could come across. A run scores, 2 base hits. Great bunt in that inning by Hudson Smith to help set the table, and the fielder's choice hits the run home. Couple hits, no errors, and they leave 2 in scoring position. So another run for Faith, but as we hit the halfway point in this one, it is PCA 7 and Faith 3. As you're tuned in to Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
It's not about fixing air conditioners. It's not about the thousands of hours spent training. It's about homeowners resting easy, knowing they can trust us in their homes. It's about keeping a family cool and comfortable in the dead of summer. At Milestone, it's more than just a job. It is and always will be how we help people.
Bottom of the fourth inning, it is 7-3. Prestonwood on top of Faith. Chuck Kelly with you here at the Graham, where we'll be back tomorrow at 4:30. Airtime for a 5 o'clock first pitch between these two teams, as Steele LaBeouf scheduled to pitch for PCA. We'll find out who Rob Vaughn will send out for Faith in that ball game. So look out now to see it's Meyer Clark still on the mound for Faith. You got to be careful in these early games to see if there's any position changes or things like that. But yeah, it looks like that still Clark, who came in and has kind of settled things down a little bit after that rocky second inning for Max Thompson, who got only one batter out in the several batters that he faced. In fact, 6 batters, got one out, and that's when they put that advantage from 5-1 out to 7-1. Now it's 7-3. It's that first pitch of ball. 1-0 here to Cruz Benuelos, who has bounced out to the third baseman Sloan on a nifty play to end the first, then walked and scored in the second. So 0 for 1 officially in the game for Benuelos. As from the stretch, Clark ready and deals, and that one is swung on and missed. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Benuelos to be followed by Moffitt and Bachman, so it is the absolute heart of the order here for PCA. Cruz, 6'1", about 220 pounds, second year as a starting catcher. Followed H.A. DePaulo, went to Vandy and then Tech. That one has popped out of play. First team all-district performer for Benuelos. It was an honorable mention all-state. He has some offers that some teams looking at him. Blinn, NCTC. Got a preferred walk-on opportunity at Baylor, but he'll probably see a lot more action before all is said and done. He's one of those Hank Aaron MLB Dream Series players. And in the classroom, very strong as well. As the pitch to Benuelos, that one's high. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had the go-ahead double with 2 outs in the top of the ninth off Hogan Nelson, who's now at DBU in the state semi last year against Liberty, a game that PCA, of course, won to make it to the final. Benuelos waiting. Here's the pitch. That one's high for a ball. And it goes now to 3-2. Again, the lights in full effect here at the ballpark on what is still a very pleasant night. Temperatures drop now to 61 degrees, but still shirt sleeve weather as that wind is non-existent, as it was blowing a little bit at the start of the game, but not now. 3-2, swung on and missed, strike 3 as Benuelos goes down. So Clark has done a really good job in relief for Faith, because he so far has faced 6 batters, and the only guy that has reached was Junior Niffen, who walked and stole a base there in the 3rd inning. Now Moffitt comes up. Moffitt's 1 for 2. Had a double and a run scored, and pitched his last time. As that pitch is a strike, it's 0-1. He got that fielder's choice grounder that pinched a runner at the plate. That was he batted twice there in the 2nd inning. Again, my scorecard a little bit messed up in that frame. Having to do some deciphering here as I pitch a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, we're hoping for a quick one there after that 1st inning tonight. Both teams putting zeros on the board, but this game stretched out just a little bit. More to love, right? Pitch fouled out of play, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, about 4 weeks of non-district action, tournament action coming up. Games coming up here next week. A little rain in the forecast on Friday, but doesn't seem to be in any of the big heavy stuff. So hopefully we can play around that. Got a doubleheader scheduled next Friday. As that pitch hits that batter, Moffitt will go to first base. I'm not sure it got him in the back or the backside or whatever, but he will take the free passes. That one got away from Clark, and on to first goes Moffitt, and he's on there with one out. Here comes Max Bachman, who has singled and scored a run and has walked both of those 8 bats coming in the second inning. Comes up again here in the fourth. 7 runs, only 3 hits in the game for PCA and 1 error. 3 runs, 4 hits and an error for Faith. From the belt, comes to the plate. That one is swung on and fouled back to the screen, and it is 0-1. Graham Field, the home of PCA. Of course, PCA North plays here as well. We're going to have 4 of their games coming up throughout the season. First coming a week from next Monday. So if you're a PCA North fan, which you should be, and get some bonus baseball here through PCA Plano Athletics.org. Pitch ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first base in a 7-3 ball game. Bachman waiting. Here's the set of the belt. Runner goes from first. Pitch is swung on, and that one is hit over on the left side. Cut off by the third baseman. Sloan fires to first to get the out there. Retires Bachman. And on to second goes Moffitt. He'll be there in scoring position. So a ground out gets the second out of the inning. And that'll leave it up to Riggs Huggins.
Number 10, FJ Goodnight.
Oh, beg your pardon. We're going to have a change in the batting order now as FJ Gignard will hit in this position. And again, when it comes to high school substitutions, it gets a little bit crazy sometimes where you can you can move players around, put them in slots. I can't follow it exactly, but anyway, it is Gignard who will hit here in his first AB of the ball game. We'll see what Clark does. That is a breaking ball. He's cutting right off the start is FJ, and he fouls that one back. So Huggins lifted in this AB here, and they will put Gignard in here to hit. And waiting on the next offering here from Clark. It's a long look in for the sign. 1 strike on the batter, 2 outs. And the pitch skips away from the catcher down the third base line. Runner will move up toward third as that ball went all the way down the line. Leon chased it down. Well, it's a good catcher. He'll keep it in front of him, but it was thrown, had some mustard on it. And let's see, what is our call here? They're bringing the runners at first base. I thought that was a pitch in the dirt that hit the shin guard and kicked away. That's what I thought. But I thought it was just a wild pitch, and it caromed off Leon's shin guard, and he went chasing it down the line. That's what I thought happened. So our umpires are going to confer. Garrick Fisher and Syed Bailey are going to talk about it. And after all of that, yeah, I think that's what happened. It was just a wild pitch was all it was. And it hit Leon, and I don't know where Gignard was trying to steal first. He was there 1-1, but I didn't see any contact at the bat, and it certainly didn't hit him either, so I don't know. That's why we need a replay. Get replay in the booth. Take a look at it. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Our engineer, Barry Walters, is saying, yeah, right, engineer, we need about 40 cameras for that. Oh, boy. We'll order 37 more. 2 balls and a strike. Barry said he's going to get right on it. Yeah, it's amazing. You watch games on TV, baseball or any sport really, you just don't understand what goes into the production on the video side of things. And Barry Walters just doing great things with the staff today as that pitch is outside for a ball, and it's now 3 balls and a strike, just to make sure this one is on, and you're able to watch this as best as possible. Think how many cameras and cameramen will be at the Super Bowl on Sunday. Holy moly. Could be a camera for every person on the field. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's high and away. Ball 4. And a free pass taken by Ginyard. Well, see, he tried to take it a minute ago. He just needed to be patient. He was going to get that walk. And now runners at first and third here.
Number 2, Jake.
And that'll bring up Jake Felsman, the second baseman, who walked and scored a run in his first AB. There in the second, and also in that inning, he flied out to left field. He was the first guy that Meyer Clark faced as he came on in relief, became the third pitcher of the game. And I think we might have some more action about to start down in the Faith bullpen. I think Ray Clark's going to come out and talk to his son and see what we got, see what he's got left in the tank here. But I think they're just now starting the action down in the bullpen. And James Lade will take this opportunity to bring his two base runners, Moffitt and Ginyard, and of course the batter Felsman together to kind of have an offensive chat down the third base line. James Lade in his 5th year starting this year for PCA. Of course, he coached in the pros. He's been in the Rangers organization, coached in Frisco. Also scouted for the Marlins. 16 years of college baseball he was involved in, including 11 as a head coach. He was an assistant at Oklahoma State University. Head coach at University of Dallas and UT Tyler, had a nifty record there. 348 wins, 117 losses. That's all. 75% winning percentage. You'll take that every day of the week. Well, here is Jake Felsman standing in, second baseman, who has walked. Runner goes from first, started from first, and that hit the catcher's glove on, kicked away, but he quickly gets on top of it. I think they were going to try to steal a run. In other words, distract with Ginyard over at first. They were going to try to draw a throw and see if they could get Moffitt to come down from third and do a little diversion play there. But as it is, 1 ball, no strikes, still runners at the corners. They hold the runner at first with Savage. As Clark set at the belt, ready and comes to the plate. That one is a strike, dropped through, and it's now 1-1. We're talking earlier about the pitch count for Savion Sims. He threw only 11 pitches in that very tidy top of the first, and that by far was the least pitches of any hurler that's been out there today. After you got into the bullpen, it's been a little bit more of what you'd expect in a high school game this early in the year. 1-1, a little check swing, rolls right down the third base line. Going to be played in foul ground by Sloan, the third baseman. And it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Jake Felsman. Quinn Majewski's in the on-deck circle. We're in the 4th inning, bottom of the 4th, a 7-inning game. PCA leading by a score of 7-3. Felsman looking down toward the third base coach, head coach James Lade, see what he's got up his sleeve. Now back into the right side batter's box. And the 1-2 pitch. Runner goes from first. Pitch is a ball. They're going to throw down. They got the runner hung up. And let's see if they're going to bite on this as they throw to first. And it ticked off the glove of Savage and in to score the run. That's exactly what happened. Was Aiden Moffitt. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make him make a play and make an error. And they're going to get that E on the first baseman, Savage, as that rundown popped off his glove, and Moffitt comes in to score. So the second error of the game for Faith allows that run to cross the plate. That's, again, the way that James Lade had it drawn up, because you make the defense make the play, you get that runner hung up intentionally and see what happens. Of course, now they've got Ginyard at second base as that one is swung on and fouled back out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Now an 8-3 ball game. Meyer Clark trying to finish out this inning. You would think that if Rob Vaughn's going to go to the bullpen, he'd like to get a fresh inning to start, whether that be the 5th inning. They have to bring in somebody now in the middle of a frame. That pitch swung on, and that one is hit into left field. It'll be down for a base hit. That'll score a run. Is rounding third. Ginyard on his way to the plate, crosses, and that moves it out to a 9-3 advantage for Prestonwood as an RBI single for Jake Felsman. Everybody getting a piece of this one tonight as he drives in Ginyard, and that an unearned run right there.
Now batting, number 28, Quinn Majewski.
And that'll bring Majewski to the plate as Ginyard came in again in that number 6 slot in the order, which was walked all 3 times. Huggins walked twice in his 2 at-bats in the second, and then Ginyard walking there, and that is going to be the end of the day for Meyer Clark, who did a nice job, and he gets a hand from the Faith fans as he comes in and, threw well in the first couple of frames. He threw the end of the second and then in the third as well, but here in the fourth runs into a little bit of trouble, and we'll get our 4th pitcher of the day, and we'll watch for position changes as well, because you never know what's going to be going on. It looks like the outfield's stayed the same because they're out in center field and they haven't moved, but you never know when you start going to position players here who it's going to be. So this would be the great time right here to have that network break, but we'll keep it here as Caden Frazier comes into the game. He's a junior, so Caden Frazier becomes the 4th pitcher of the day. And Frazier, see if we know anything about him here in a minute, but he's a right-hander. We can certainly tell you that. So Frazier, looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Oh, beg your pardon. He's on deck. Okay, we're going to keep an eye here again on position changes, because you get later in the game and start seeing things moving around, and even for PCA we see fresh face that perhaps is going to be coming on deck. Looks like that James Valade may be reaching into his dugout a little bit here to try to get some guys some action in a game that has now become 9-3. And if you're greedy, you want them to score 4 more times and call it a short night at the yard. But as it is, we're just about to the 2-hour mark, as this one in the bottom of the 4th inning in a 9-3 ball game.
On the mound for the Grapevine Faith Lions.
And again, Frazier in the game, putting him in the lineup here. We'll look at Clark's numbers as he winds up going 2 innings total, and he's given up 2 runs so far. Neither of those earned, I don't believe. I have to go back and reconstruct that inning, but I don't believe either one of those with that error mixed, couple of errors mixed in there. So get the final book on him here in a second, but it'll be Majewski who comes to the plate and takes the first pitch ball, and it's 1-0 to Majewski, who has doubled and scored a run and popped out to the shortstop Rivera in his last at bat. That was last inning in the 3rd. We're at the bottom of the 4th right now. A 9-3 game. Righty comes to the plate. That one is outside for a ball. I want you to stick around after the game. We will have a brief recap, and we are scheduled to have a star of the game interview. And we're trying to figure out in a game that just about everybody has contributed who might bubble to the top here as a potential candidate for our star. As the 2-0 pitch, that one is a ball, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes. So Frazier has come in and missed the zone for 3 straight times. So let's see. Looking back at what Clark did in the game, he had a couple of walks that he surrendered and struck out 1 batter in those 2 innings. A strike pumped through it. It's now 3-1. So 2 innings and 1 hit. That hit just a moment ago. That's the only one that he allowed. And again, so far, 2 runs, be responsible for the runner at first base. 3-1 the count. That's a breaking ball, and it missed the outside corner, and there is ball 4. So another walk is issued, and that is.
Now batting.
Have to do some math. There's 5. There's 7, 8, 9. 9 walks in the ball game and a hit by pitch. So here's 10 free base runners. Yeah, and that clock. Now see, if this were a tournament game, we'd be in business because we'd be hitting the time limit. We would have already been at it. But I'm not sure what the terms of this one are. If we're any kind of constraints, or we're just going to keep playing baseball and play the full 6.5, which is what PCA fans are hoping. But we'll see how it all turns out. 9-3 the scores. Now to the plate. It's going to be Chance Kidd, the freshman, who gets his first AB of the year. Kidd, who has a pretty famous pop, stands in, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Chance, the son of Dallas Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd. And he is a good-looking freshman as he stands in from that right side batter's box. 6'4", about 215, 220 pounds. His second year here at PCA. He's ranked the #1 catcher in the class of 29, according to Perfect Game. Frankly, I'm hoping Jesus comes back before then, but in case he doesn't, this is going to be the catcher you want to watch. So takes a strike, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. It's always my hope. I hope that's first, but we'll get where we go. Kidd, again, in a backup role this year, has Benuelos getting the start. 1-1 pitch. Swung on that one, hit sharply back up the middle. Nice play by the second baseman to smother it, and Ross wins the foot race to the bag to retire Majewski coming down, and Kidd gets robbed of a hit right there. 4 unassisted in the inning. Put a star by that one, and a great play by Cohen Ross, the second baseman. 2 runs in the inning for PCA coming on a base hit. There were 2 left on base and 2 errors in the inning. Don't forget to throw those in. So we are through 4 complete. This game's flying. We go to the 5th. Now PCA 9 and Faith 3. She tuned into Lion Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time,
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Well, a little Clint Black serenading the crowd here at the Graham, which, by the way, is a great place tonight. A lot of folks here in the seats, and happy to see baseball as it's going to be the top of the 5th inning. It's going to be Walker, Leon, and Savage up against F.J. Gignard, who comes to the plate with the pitch inside and high, 1 ball and no strikes. Gignard came in the 3rd inning, became the 3rd pitcher of the game for Faith, as that pitch is low for a ball. Chase Walker got a double and a strikeout in the game, so he is 1 for 2. And that pitch is low for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. We were just talking about the pace of this game, or should we say lack of pace in this game, as this has gone way south here. The pitch is going to be a ball as that one tossed away.
Now batting, number 2, Jesus.
And a first base free pass as Walker on at first base, and now Leon stands in. He has popped out twice to second baseman Feldman, so Felsman has done the job twice to retire him. He'll try not to do that a third straight time as he takes the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. 9-3. Playing the top of the 5th. Here's the delivery. That one is a strike, and it is 0-2. Only 8 hits in the ball game, but 12 runs between the two teams. But you add up all the walks and hit batsmen and whatever, that allows the opportunity for runs to be scored. From the letters, here's the pitch. That one is inside and high for a ball. Now goes to a ball and 2 strikes here. Runner at first. Chase Walker. Leon at the plate. Told you how high that Coach Rob Vaughn is on Leon, the Venezuelan. That pitch a ball. Now evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, it's his first year at Faith. Transfer from Prosper. The big arm, and man, has a baseball body. A really, really good backstop for Faith, which again is looking to replace 8 starters from last year's state finalist team. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on to that one. Hit through the hole over on the left side for a base hit. So a single there for Leon. Now runners at first and second with nobody out. And that will bring to the plate Colton Savage, who's walked and scored a run and struck out in his 2 at-bats. So 2 on. Without an out here in the top of the 5th inning. That was the 5th hit of the ball game there. So for the second time, they get the two runners on and nobody out. We'll see Gignard try to go back, perhaps get a double play. We still haven't seen one of those. We've seen a lot in this game so far, but quick check to first. Nobody's there. It's just thrown down the right field line, and having to pick it up is Valade as rounding third, coming all the way to the plate, tagged at the plate, and out at home was the base runner. That was Walker. They'll throw back to third to try to get Leon, but there was a collision at the plate, and the out is made. As the again, the throw was down the line and right, and they sent Walker around, but quickly Valade was over there to pick it up and throw it to the plate, and they get the out there. Now on the play, Leon goes all the way around to third base, and that's where he is with 1 out now. And there's a conversation out on the mound as they're having a word there. See how they'll play this here with 1 out, runner at third. Again, it's a 9-3 ball game. Well, this conversation is going to take a minute. A chance to tell you that this game is brought to you in part by Up to Date Roofing, a proud sponsor of PCA and all the programs going on here. Incentive Brands, want to say thanks to them as well. The Chick-fil-A at Plano Parkway and Park Boulevard. Boy, I'd like to hit that after the game. I'm getting hungry here. Comfort Maker Air Conditioning, proud sponsor, as well as Global Strategic, Milestone Electric, and Vista Physical Therapy. Those are some of the partners on the PCA baseball broadcast this season. Thank you for being a part of it. As now, Gignard, after that lengthy meeting, comes to the plate and he misses this one outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, again, a game that is dragged into the depths of a lengthy opening game here. and well beyond what it normally is. Normally would be, you would think. Most high school games might go a couple of hours, maybe 2:15 if it went exceptionally long. Well, we're already almost to that point. We're only in the top of the 5th inning with the runner at third base, and that pitch is swung on and popped back out of play, and it is 2-1. Well, the Lions, again tomorrow, PCA going to start sophomore Steele LaBeouf. Lefty, that'll be second starter. It's that last pitch of ball, and it's now 3-1. Not sure for sure who will be. Again, PCA with these 9 runs on the board tonight without Lash Henderson in the lineup. He has a hand contusion. If you're just tuning in and wondering where he is, his ball 4 delivered to the plate. And Colton Savage, who was the batter, beg your pardon for not introducing him properly, but he's down to first. And with him there and Leon over at third, they've got runners at the corners. And
Number 8, Caleb.
it's going to be Caleb Clendaniel who comes to the plate. Yeah, it's heard a horn go off somewhere. It's usually like you hear that and you think it's that lightning indicator, but there's no weather in the area, so that couldn't be. You got to have clouds to have lightning, and it's not that tonight. Pitches of balls. That one stays upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes here to Clendaniel, who was lifted for a runner as Boring came in back in the 4th inning. He wound up getting forced out at third base. But 2 at-bats for Clendaniel, and he's reached both times. Clendaniel walked both occasions. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first base. Here's Ginyard, the right-hander. Ready comes to the plate. That one is fouled back out of play. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, if you haven't been here to the ballpark, you need to make your plans sometime. You can do it tomorrow or sometime this year. Be sure you come out as a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Nice job there by Ginyard to paint that outer edge and retire Clendaniel, who is retired for the first time in the ball game.
Now batting number 7, Stone Thompson.
And that'll bring up Stone Thompson, the right fielder, who's reached on an error and singled in his last at bat. So he is 1 for 2 in the game. He scored a run as Thompson taking a strike, and it's 0-1. 2-year letterman on this Faith team. Very athletic outfielder. Has a big arm, not a flashy player, but man, he can throw it when he needs to. That pitch is low. We mentioned he and his brother have a 30. They're actually triplets. You know, the 2 players on the team, they think they're twins or triplet. Their brother's a special needs young man, and you know, everybody roots for him. And you know, you talk about the development of somebody who has a sibling like that as a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2. You know, Coach Fahm was telling me that, you know, the Thompsons, it makes them even better human beings. The fact that they have, you know, a brother that they think the world of and look after, and you know, all the best wishes to him and his future as well. But it's quite a group of young men there, those Thompson boys, as that pitch taken for a ball. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner at first and a runner at third. Ginyard ready to go back to work. And comes to the plate. That one is swung on and tapped over on the third base side. Picked there by Moffitt. He goes the short way to Felsman, and that ends the inning. So 5-4 retires Stone Thompson and puts a lid on that inning. No runs, a hit, and 2 left on. We are through 4.5 now with the score PCA 9 and Faith 3. As you're tuned in to Prestonwood Baseball for Metro Sports Communications.
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color, With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs. Make your statement.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? Hi, I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
A 9-3 ball game as we come back to the bottom of the fifth inning as Prestonwood set to send the top of the order. At least that's who is scheduled up. Well, they will be the top of the order, obviously. We'll make sure that everyone stays in procession, as we did see the pinch hitter in the last frame. Chance Kidd batted there in the fourth inning. And now looking back out on the hill, make sure that's still Caden Frazier, believe that is. And so playing a little God Bless Texas here at the ballpark. Some of the fans, looks like, well, at least the scouts anyway, may have been heading out for the evening, so not quite the gathering we had right at the start of the game. But anyhow, heading toward the finish line of this one. It's been so far so good for Prestonwood. They like to start the year at 1-0. We mentioned that Faith won its first game against Covenant Christian. We mentioned the 10 strikeouts that game by the Faith batters, but here's the kicker. The good news, if you're a Faith fan, they had 15 strikeouts of Covenant hitters in that game. So, yeah, they definitely had the pitching going in that ball game. They don't have 15 strikeouts, not even close tonight against Prestonwood. In fact, they have only one in the ball game. A little bit different change in competition there. But Junior Niffen set the lead off. He's walked his last 2 times up, and he bounced out in the first inning. So he's 0 for 1 officially as he takes ball 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That one is swung on and hit over on the left side and off the glove of the third baseman Sloan, who made all those great plays. And that's going to be an E5 on Sloan. And again, just strange. I mean, there's discussion. It seemed to be a relatively easily hit ball. And again, discussion here in the booth, but I believe E5 is the right call. And they'll bring Trent Valade, the DH, up to the plate. Well, they started the DH. First baseman now, as they'll throw to first. Again, Niffen can go. He had a stolen bases last time. And, you know, it's still in play because, as we said earlier, a 6-run lead in high school is not the end of the day at all. You can come back from that in a hurry. Maybe not against Prestonwood's pitching, but in some high school cases you can, as that pitch is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes here to Trent Valade. Stands in for the left side batter's box. He is 0 for 2 officially in the game with a hit by pitch and a run scored. Okay, they're going to change the scoring on that. They're going to give him a hit. So we'll make that adjustment in our scorebook. A generous hit, but they'll take it nonetheless. It was hit to the left of the third baseman, but with what he's done earlier in the day, then we've seen his glove work, you'd think that would be a fairly routine play. But that's the way it's scored, so we'll go with that. Is that foul ball out of play? 2 balls and a strike. Valade at the plate. Open stance from the left side. Runner being held at first. From the belt, here's the wind of the pitch. That one's outside and high, and now goes to 3-1. Runner goes from first, and ball 4, so it didn't matter. They're going to take the free pass, and Valade is going to go down. First base, 2 on, nobody out. So now here comes Cruz Benuelos. He is the catcher. He was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 9-3. PCA on top, looking to add more here. That pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, again, you get a 4-run inning here. You can call it a night, but you don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. But they do have the opportunity with these bats that they have. Try to pile some on here. Again, this game has lasted now 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we're only in the 5th inning. Here's the ball swung on, hit in the air toward right center field. Chasing back is the center fielder, and that is Walker's underneath it to make the catch. Runners will each tag up and move ahead, and they get the out at second base on Valade as the base umpire, Saeed Bailey, said that they got the tag applied by Ross, the second baseman, so that'll be 8-4 on the put out there. Now coming from third and scoring the run because there, I guess, wasn't time called. Okay, well, I was looking down to fill out my scorecard, and all of a sudden Junior Niffen said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and advance because time had not been called. So I wonder how that's scored. I mean, that's not a sacrifice fly, is it? Because the play, I mean, the play continued, but it didn't continue. That's interesting. How it would be scored. I'm going to have to go to my Major League scorer friend and say, how did that work? Would that be a sacrifice fly because he kept going? I mean, I didn't see if he stopped at third or what, or if he just, I mean, you got to account for it somehow, but I'm going to ask my expert, and he'll tell me. But after all of that, the run scores, that's the bottom line. And Prestonwood now with a 10-3 lead. So here's the pitch. That one is a little bit out of the zone. And it's now 1 ball, 1 strike. Cruz Benuelos at the plate. Again, the throw from center field, I mean, the question is, do you just advance on the throw? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just advances and there's, no official scoring that, goes anywhere. I mean, it's not an error or anything like that. But anyway, interesting. But I have seen that. I've seen a guy score on a sac fly from second before. It just kept going and on a ball hit deep into the outfield. But that's been quite a while. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two outs, bases empty. Caden Frazier ready and delivers 1-2 pitch. That one is swung on, lifted in the air, foul down the left side. Well, 4 pitchers used in the game by Faith, 3 so far by PCA. Now we've still got an inning and a half at least to go, unless something ends by a run rule earlier. As the 1-2 pitch, that's outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, star of the game coming up when we're done. Stick around for that visit. Again, no one for PCA as that ball shot foul on the left side. No one for PCA as a multi-hit game. You're looking back over the scorecard. No one has more than 1 hit. Now, that 6th slot we mentioned with Huggins, 2 walks, Ginyard with a walk. It's kind of like a 3 for 3, but doesn't work that way in the scorecard. Here's a pitch swung on, and that one is hit over to the shortstop, fielded there, throw wide of first, and safe at first base is Cruz Benuelos as Rivera, who has the surest glove on the team, managed to have that ball tail on him, and he'll be charged with an error as he pulled the first baseman Savage off the bag. And that'll bring Moffitt to the plate. 2 out, runner at first base. Max Bachman. The on-deck circle for the Lions. They can keep this going here, as that pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 4:30 tomorrow for the second game of this series. 5 o'clock first pitch. Again, this has been a unusually lengthy start for a first game as that pitch low bounced in, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Moffitt in the ball game, 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch, and he scored a couple of runs. 2-0. Set at the belt. Here's the delivery. That one is low for a ball. Skips past the catcher. Runner's going to stay put at first as quickly. Leon jumps on top of that. Fourth pitcher of the day for Faith as Bowman started, went an inning and a third. Then Max Thompson went a third of an inning. Meyer Clark has been the most effective at 2 innings. It's a swing and a miss on the 3-0, gave him the green light, and it's now 3-1. Now Caden Frazier, the fourth pitcher of the ball game. On the hill right now for Faith. Here's the pitch. That one is swung on, hit high in the air, deep left field toward the corner. It's going to get down for extra bases as on his way to third base is the lead runner, Benuelos, as Moffitt is going to pull in with a double. That's his second of the ball game. And PCA now is going to bring a potential game-ending run to the plate if they well, look at it like that as F.J. Gignard set to come up. Well, now wait a sec. I got to do some housekeeping here. I lost a batter someplace. That was Bachman. And now it's Gignard. Okay, so give him the double. Beg your pardon, not Moffitt. Let me scoot this down. See, your scorecard gets really messy in this situation. And I'm trying to figure out here where I got turned around. But nonetheless, wait, squared away. This is Gignard, who is up now. So, see what Gignard can do in a 3-run game. Runners at second and third, and 2 out. 10-3, PCA up. Delivery swung on that one, ripped in the left side for a base hit. That'll score 1 run. Is coming across the plate is Moffitt, and that will make it an 11-3 game. And a sharp single on RBI by Gignard.
Number 2, Jake Felsman.
And that'll bring Jake Felsman to the plate. Again, getting caught up here on the scorecard. I've got an error in my book, but I'm going to have to fix that later on. Not going to fix it right now, but I can tell you that Moffitt did score, and that is the second run of the inning, and it's 11-3. And Felsman now set to come up, and the pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, star of the game scheduled to come after this one. We'll see if that takes place. This game's run exceptionally long. Try to schedule that out. I didn't expect a 2.5-hour game on the first of the year. Swinging a bouncing ball out to the shortstop, fielded there by Rivera, and he flips the short way to second to end the inning. So after all of that, 2 runs come across for PCA, coming on 2 hits, I believe. No, 3 hits, beg your pardon. And they strand a couple. And we go now to the top of inning number 6. And it is now PCA 11 and Faith 3. As we head to break here, you're listening to PCA Lion Baseball, tuned in and viewing as well here on PCA Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
Well, we've got a new pitcher as we go to the top of the 6th inning, and it is going to be the second baseman for PCA, and that is Jake Felsman, who is going to come to the mound and take over for F.J. Ginyard, who threw 3 innings, did pretty good in his stint tonight. So Felsman, who we were told by James Valet that it's going to be situation of we'll see some guys that just throw them out there and see if you can pitch. So they're going to give Felsman a little bit of an opportunity here and see what he can do in a game that has gotten a little bit out of balance here as we go to the 6th. 11-3 the score, and of course we don't have any pitching numbers to give you on Felsman because that's not what he does. He's a second baseman. I guess he's going to be a fellow who's going to be given an opportunity here. Again, about 5'8", about 170 pounds. One of those grinded out, grimy type of players. That pitch is swinging a foul ball, and it snowballs and a strike to Felsman. He has a sister who played soccer at Frisco Memorial, now studies business at OU. Felsman does, so I like that, being a Sooner grad. Here's a pitch swung on, and that one is hit deep into left center field. Diving is the center fielder and unable to make the catch for Prestonwood was Niffen, and that one is going to get to the wall, and it's going to wind up being a double for Jordan Sloan, who's at second base right now. So a 2-base hit to get things started here in the 6th inning, and man, he hit that one very solidly there, and that's going to bring us down to the number 9 spot in the order, and that's Hudson Smith. So Sloan at second. Here's Hudson Smith. Steps out for the left side. Ken Felsman, the third pitcher of the game. So Ginyard winds up giving up 5 hits in his 3 innings that he threw and a couple of runs. The pitch was a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 11-3 our score. Looking back over his performance, Ginyard wound up striking out 3 batters and walked 3 as well. That's what my totals show me. And those 2 runs given up in the 3 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike here on the batter. Here's a swing and a ball hit in the air towards shallow left field, backing out, unable to play it. The shortstop Bachman, as it was over his head, and the left fielder Hernandez couldn't get in and get it either as it drops in for a hit. Now 2 on here in the inning. And a little something started here for Faith, as that was Hudson Smith who poked that one out into left field. And now they've got runners at first and third with nobody out. And the top of the order, Pedro Rivera, set to come up.
Now batting, number 4, Pedro Rivera.
Rivera has grounded out, struck out, and bounced into a force out at the plate in his last appearance. So he's 0 for 3 in the game. 1-1 pitch swung on, and that one hit in the air towards center. It's going to get down for a base hit, run in to score. RBI right there for Pedro Rivera, and it's now 11-4. They're teeing off on Felsman here early. They've hit the ball hard. The first 3 batters have all gotten hits. And again, James Valet just wanting to see what some people can do in certain situations, giving Felsman a chance on the mound. But First three hitters, Sloan, Smith, and Rivera, have all hit the ball hard, and Rivera gets his RBI right there to make it 11-4. And now here comes Cohen Ross, the second baseman, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored, and he takes ball one ball, no strikes. Nobody out. 11-4, PCA on top here in the top of the 6th inning. From the letters, here's the pitch. That one is swung on and fouled over on the left side, back out of play. Well, this has been quite the game tonight as far as pitches and position changes and more pitchers. As pitch to the plate delivered, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. We've gone over the 2.5-hour mark now in the top of the 6th inning. It's like old Major League Baseball before they put the speed-up rule in there. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and a strike. No, baseball is a game meant to be enjoyed. It is. Especially when you're ahead 11-4. The PCA Lion fans will say, hey, this is great. Enjoying watching this. You're supposed to ramp up if you're doing play-by-play and you want a quick game. That one skipped in. A wild pitch is going to get past the catcher and all the way back to the screen.
It won't clear the out. I got you. So that's what I'm trying to see how do you clear the outs.
And a wild pitch moves the runner Smith over to third base, and to second base goes Rivera. Here's the delivery. Swung on, and that one is fouled back. I have no clue what the count is. I've lost count. 3-2? All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of pitches in the game, and I'm just we're all hold-on mode, I think, here in the booth here. Hoping that PCA can wrap this one up. 3-2 swung on, and that one is strike 3. It was held on to by the catcher. He got a piece of it there, but Ross strikes out, and there is out number 1 here in the innings. After 3 straight hits, Feldman comes back and gets his first career punch out. And that'll bring up Jace Walker, who was 1 for 2 with a walk, had a double. As Walker stands in for the right side batter's box. He's a junior. As he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. So maybe Felsman's starting to get his sea legs underneath him here a little bit. One out here in the inning. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. And it's now 0-2. So, yeah, Felsman, who, got knocked around pretty good by the first 3 hitters. They barreled him up fairly well. Now he's struck out Ross, who's the 2-hitter in the lineup, and now has jumped out in front of Jace Walker here. And no balls, 2 strikes. And a curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Felsman. How about that? And there's 2 gone here in the 6th inning. Well, that is a comeback story right there for Felsman. Who, through 3 batters, wasn't exactly overpowering anybody, but the last 2, he's looked great. As that first pitch fouled away, no balls and a strike to Jesus Leon, who is 1 for 3 in the ball game. A couple of pop outs to second and a single in his last at bat. That was in the 5th inning off of F.J. Gignard, who again threw fairly well out of the bullpen for PCA. Has no balls and a strike. Here's the delivery. That one's outside, and it's now 1-1. One pitch on the way. That one is low for a ball, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. I was trying to remember which one of the Faith players is just going to be able to play the one game. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes as he has the basketball tournament coming up. I'm thinking he may have to leave straight from this game. The way this one is gone. Oh, boy. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one's low for a ball. And now goes to 3-2. So a payoff pitch here with a runner at second base and a runner at third base. 2 men in scoring position. And a swing and a ball hit sharply toward the third baseman down on a knee. Moffitt has it. Long throw across the infield in time, and that will end the inning. Well, how about Jake Felsman, who gives up 3 consecutive hits and a run, then comes back and strikes out and 2 batters in a row and gets the ground out to end the inning without any further damage. It was a good job by Felsman there. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 left on. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Our new score is PCA 11 and Grapevine Faith 4. And we will have more Lion baseball after this timeout from Metro Sports Communications.
With friendly and knowledgeable dealers who install long-lasting and reliable systems, you can trust Comfort Maker to keep you a step ahead with advanced technology and exceptional comfort.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
Make your dream outdoor space a reality with Aquaterra Outdoors. From full-service design to construction for landscaping, pools, and outdoor structures, we offer everything you need for your ideal outdoor environment. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
Here we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're laughing here in the booth because on the scoreboard they've been putting the 0 up in the inning even before it starts. You don't normally see that, and so I've been like a half inning ahead, it feels like, every time I look at it. But anyway, it is the bottom of the 6th. It is 11-4, and it looks like Caden Frazier is the one that's trying to finish this one off as we get closer toward the finish line here in Plano. Looks like we'll have our Star of the Game show coming up after this is done. Again, we're not going to mess around a whole lot on what has been a 2.5-hour game. So wait a minute, do we have a pitching change? Beg your pardon.
Number 18, Jackson.
Looks like Jackson Awalt is going to come in and become the 5th pitcher of the game. And Awalt, who is loosening up out on the hill right now, let's see what we can tell you about him. He is a sophomore, so a young guy, 6 foot, 175 pounds. He played safety on the football team, really hard-nosed kid, very fast, very strong, and athletic. And again, he's one that Coach Rob Vaughn feels may have some tools to play at the next level, and we'll see how that all turns out. But Awalt getting his debut in 26 here on the hill. I'll have to check that previous box score to make sure he didn't get in any against Covenant Christian. But anyhow, first pitch is outside for a ball, and it's 1-0 to the leadoff hitter here for Prestonwood, Quinn Majewski, who had that double in the bottom of the 2nd. And has 3 RBIs in the ball game. He's a candidate for our Star of the Game interview. That pitch is a strike, and it's now 1-1. Majewski. See who comes up next. Is that Austin Smith that's in the on-deck circle? Yeah, it looks like we've got Smith, who will be due up here. They've run some the ball swung on, and that one hit in the air toward left field. Backing out underneath it is Smith, and he'll put it away. And there is out number 1 here in the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 7,
Now Austin Smith is going to come up here to bat in the 6th inning. Chance Kidd came up in this spot, got his first AB as a Lion. Got pretty good defensive play against him early on. And that is bad. It's a foul ball over there. No balls and a strike. Doing some engineering to get set up for our post game. So I want you to stick around for that. Again, if this is your first high school baseball game, not all games last this long. This has been somewhat exceptional. That pitch is a strike. And it's now no balls and 2 strikes here to Austin Smith. Comes in a pinch hitting situation here. Ball swung out, popped again, fouled back out of play. The troops are asking for overtime. Austin Smith is senior. Takes that pitch out of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 11 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for PCA. 4 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors for Grace. A swing and a miss. Strike 3, and down goes Austin Smith. So 2 strikeouts here for Jackson Awald. It comes out of the pen and he's retired the first 2 batters that he has faced. And they'll take us back to the top of the order for Junior Niffen, who has been a busy guy on the base paths in this game, although he's only 1 for 2 officially. He reached that last. We scored that in error originally, but it was changed to a hit. So he's got a hit and 2 walks as that pitch is outside. No, it's inside. It was 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, no strikes. So looking here at my card to try to figure out. We had this spot where we got off 1 batter, and I want to make sure we don't mess that up if we go ahead. I'm going to have to go back to I'm going to go to the game changer after it's over. I'm going to pull up the play-by-play and see what the faux pas there was in the 5th inning that got me off 1 batter. But now we're good. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch is a strike in the zone. Now it's 1-1 here. Again, 4:30 tomorrow for the warm-up. We'll be on the air at 5 for Game 2 of this series. Then the Lions will be off until next week. They'll play 3 games, doubleheader, and then a single game coming up as the 1-1 pitch. Or the pitch actually makes it now 1 ball and 1 strike. We've got Trinity Christian Lubbock coming in. They've got Taka. It's a swing, and that ball hit sharply toward left field, carrying back over the head of the left fielder Smith and all the way to the wall. With Niffen's speed, he'll get into second easily, and we'll pause there with his 2nd hit of the ball game. That is a double, and PCA with a 2-out base runner here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Trent Valade, who so far in the game is 0 for 2, but he's been hit by a pitch, scored a run, and walked, so he's reached half the times he's been up so far in the contest. First pitch to Trent on the way. That pitch is a strike, and it is 0-1. Mentioned his brother, Ryan, also in baseball on the highest level, playing for the Rays, the major league level. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is swung on and hit sharply, but right to the first baseman, speared there by Savage, and he goes to the bag, and that will end the inning. 3 unassisted puts this one in the books. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. Top of the 7th inning is coming up. The score, PCA 11 and Faith 4. Lion baseball continues from Metro Sports Communications.
Storm damage? Don't wait until it's too late. At Up to Date Roofing, we bring top quality craftsmanship, honest pricing, and fast service to protect what matters most, your home. From repairs to full replacements, we keep your roof and your home up to date. Call us today and stay covered, rain or shine. Up to Date Roofing, keeping you covered no matter the weather.
We go to the top of the 7th inning and trying to nail this one down. Jake Felsman, who might as well go ahead and finish what he came in there in the 6th inning, as he again gave up those 3 consecutive hits, then 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Again, the post-game show will be somewhat concise, but we will have our star of the game interview coming up, as we will talk to the Lion who contributed to this game, and it could be just about anybody, because anybody that played, I think, has it's been a part of this, and we're not gonna really elongate this post game, so it's going to be a little bit different perhaps than later on in the year, and we kind of stretch things out or do things without a rush. But again, we've had a crew tonight that's coming up on a 3-hour baseball game, and that is above and beyond the call of duty as the first pitch comes back to the screen to start the inning here, and it is a ball one. As Colton Savage is the leadoff hitter for the Lions. Savage to be followed by Clendaniel and Thompson are the scheduled hitters in an 11-4 game. Has the set at the letters, and here's the pitch. That one is outside for a ball, and it's down 2 balls and no strikes. Looking back over the scorecard in the ball game. By the way, we think we've identified my error. Our friends here in the booth have pointed out that we found where we think it was, but we'll find out for sure later. Two balls and a strike after that last pitch. But we got 2 hits for Niff in the ball game, so he becomes the first PCA Lion to go over the multi-hit level in this one. His ball. The ball to the plate delivered for a strike, and it's now 2-2. And you look back, over the rest of the lineup. You had the double by Moffitt in the game, and let's see, singles here and there. I mean, it's just everybody's contributed, but it's been like the 1,000 paper cuts things that have put the 11 runs on the board as that ball delivered 3 balls and 2 strikes here. So Savage trying to get something started here for Faith in the final AB, unless they put 7 on the board. Here's a swing and a foul back. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, it's going to be a good start for the Lions PCA. Of course, unless something really strange happens, then wouldn't be quite as nice. That one foul back. Now goes to 3-1. For me, if we're going to play 3-hour baseball games, we're going to have to bring some food. We're going to have a halftime show or something like that. I'm working on one Chick-fil-A today, and it's not there anymore. So, oh man, here's a foul back to the screen. Look at our sponsors. We got Chick-fil-A, we got Paris Baguette. All that's sounding great right now. All these folks who have brought you tonight's game and will be here throughout the season. Freeform Chiropractic, we'll thank them, as well as Children's Health, Andrews Institute. Proud to bring you PCA baseball this evening. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the set at the letters and the pitch. That one is swung on and fouled away again. Staying on quite the battle. One of the final totals, and take a quick break, and I think we're going to have our star of the game coming up right. Might do some live TV stuff here, or live video, or live streaming stuff that might look a little unusual because we're going to get him right here, and it's going to be boom, boom, and we'll see what happens. But again, this is all on the fly. We didn't script this out before the broadcast today, so we're going to live to see tomorrow, and we'll see what the postgame looks like. But I think we know who it's going to be. It's a swing and a ball hit back through the middle into center field for a base hit. Colton Savage saying, well, you better put that on hold a little bit because Faith isn't ready to go away as Savage cranked that one right back through the middle, and he's a leadoff base runner here in the 7th inning. It's now Clendaniel who is scheduled to hit, and that is exactly who will come to the plate. Caleb Clendaniel is 0 for 1 in the ballgame officially, although he's been up 3 times. He's walked twice and struck out once. Robert Vaughn, the head coach of Faith. I told you the 69-year-old native of St. Louis. He was a 26-year Air Force veteran as that pitch gets down in the dirt and will kick back, or in the turf, I should say. The wild pitch will allow Savage to go on to second base. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, the 26-year Air Force veteran, including 4 years at his alma mater, the United States Air Force Academy, Colorado Springs. Has had 12 years of coaching in TAPS. We're talking about Robert Vaughn here, the head coach of Faith Christian Lions. Ball taken. Now it's 2 balls and a strike. He's in his 7th year as the head coach here. So that pitch is a strike. And it's now 2-2. He's twice been the district coach of the year in their league. Last year's Lions, the Division II state runner-up, mentioned of that. Had several baseball players go on to play collegiately, just like PCA. As a called strike 3 as Felsman strikes out Clendaniel, and there is 1 gone here in the 7th inning. And we don't have, oh, yes, we do. It's Ian Harriger who's coming to the plate.
Now batting, number 34, Ian.
I thought they snuck someone in on the roster, and I thought, well, Rob, we were friends. Now he is my friend. So we've got a good roster. I don't know why I thought that Harriger wasn't on there, but he is. As he takes the first pitch for a ball, and it's 1-0. So Ian Harriger stepping in to hit in Stone Thompson's spot. Here in the number 7 position in the order. Thompson was 1 for 3 in the game. Here's the ball swung on, and this one is hit foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, Thompson might have had a late tee time or something like that. Harriger waiting. Right side batter's box. Here's the pitch from Felsman. That one is a little bit outside. It's now 2-1. Post-game show coming up when we're done. Gentlemen, 2 more minutes. We've witnessed a 3-hour game. So here is the next pitch, 3-1. I'm not rooting for that. I'm just pointing out, just a fact. So whatever your hourly wage is, just be sure you've registered that with Coach Purcell. Because we all worked extra tonight. Here's a foul back out of play, and it's 3-2. Yeah, I did not have 3-hour opener on my bingo card today, for sure. But, again, if you're a PCA Lion fan, it's all worth it. If you get the win, 11-4 right now. With a runner on base, 1 out. You're in the top of the 7th inning. It's a wind of the pitch. That one is swung on and foul back out of play. So 3-2 now to Ian Harriger. Talked about a lot of these new young players that they have. Harriger's returning from an arm injury. He's kind of been getting back into rhythm. He makes good contact at the plate, getting to swing here in the top of the 7th inning. Swings and misses at that one, though, as that was a breaking ball thrown by Felsman. We've seen him get a couple of strikeouts on that pitch, and he gets his 4th in 2 innings on the hill. Actually, an inning and 2/3 so far, and now Faith is down to its final out as they're going to bring Jordan Sloan to the plate, batting that number 8 slot, and Sloan will try to elongate this one as the pitch is a strike, and it's 0-1. Sloan, we talked about a JV player last year, making his way through improvement to the varsity level. Here's a swing and a ball hit to the third baseman. Moffitt backhands, long throw across, skipped in. Great scoop made by Valade, and that is the ball game. Exactly 3 hours on the money, and the PCA Lions have the victory. 11-4, the final score, final totals, and the Star of the Game interview coming up. Don't go away. PCA baseball continues after this timeout from Metro Sports Communications.
Is pain, stiffness, or discomfort keeping you from feeling your best? Hi, I'm Dr. Colby King with Freeform Chiropractic, where we help you move free, feel free, and live free. If pain or stiffness is holding you back, it's time to take control. Visit Freeform Chiropractic for a consultation. Let's create your game plan to move, feel, and live free.
Well, PCA wins the opener by a final score of 11-4. Here are the final totals in the ball game for PCA: 11 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left. For Grapevine Faith, 4 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors, and 10 left. The winning pitcher, I have no idea, because when you're running them in and out, it's kind of the scorer's decision about who they want to be or who pitched most effectively. So without an official score here at a high school game, I'm not sure who they'll chalk this one up to. But again, the starter, Savion Sims, threw 11 pitches, retired all 3, of course, that he faced. At the 2 strikeouts, Trent Valade threw an inning, gave up 1 unearned run, had a couple of strikeouts. F.J. Ginyard went 3 innings, gave up a couple of runs on 5 hits. And Jake Felsman came in and threw well down the stretch. So, again, we'll find out who they award the win to, but somebody's got to get it. And I'm not sure who that's going to be. But anyway, Cody Bowman was losing pitcher as he went in inning the third, gave up 5 earned runs and 3 hits in the ball game and a couple of walks as well. And again, the time of game was 3 hours exactly. 3 hours on the books, and we will have our Star of the Game interview coming up next. You're listening to PCA Lions Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
Hey there, Lion Nation. I'm Rudy Casanova, owner and president of Global Strategic Business Process Outsource Solutions. In athletics, teamwork is everything. Each player has a role, and when they come together, they achieve greatness. At Global Strategic, we believe the same principle applies to the workplace. When the right people come together, your business thrives. Let Global Strategic help you build a winning team at work. Visit www.globalstrategic.com for more information and schedule some time with me or one of my team. The Casanova family and Global Strategic are proud supporters of the PCA athletic program. Go Lions!
With fast signs, see the visual possibility in your business. See it in lights and flags, on a van, in metal, on the floor, in color. With signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement. With Fast Signs, your masterful team of visual marketing experts, anything is possible. Fast Signs, make your statement.
Make your dream outdoor space a reality with Aquaterra Outdoors. From full-service design to construction for landscaping, pools, and outdoor structures, we offer everything you need for your ideal outdoor environment. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Aquaterra Outdoors, elevating outdoor living to the next level. Contact us today at 214-387-8333 or visit our website aquaterraoutdoors.com and start your journey to the ultimate outdoor experience.
Got to push those buttons as we continue here on the post-game show. Is our star of the game as PCA wins it by a final score of 11-4 tonight to start the year 1-0. Well, we mentioned you could pick from just about anybody to come up and talk about this one, but Quinn Majewski, the right fielder, is the fella alongside who we talked to here on the post-game. Hey, 1-0, you get that season opener out of the way. Crazy game. You had the one big inning, but it seems like everybody contributed in this game, including yourself. What were your thoughts on getting that victory, and how good did that feel to get that one under your belt?
I feel like just as a team, it was a big one coming together for the first time, first game of the season. And then for myself, getting that first one, I don't think much about it. I just put that one aside and get the next at bat. Try to do it. It's best for the ball club. It's all business with you guys, and talking to your coach, Coach Valade, before the game about what you guys were going to do. And you know, it's a businessman approach, right? Even for game one, he said there's not going to be any jitters or butterflies. You're just going to go out and play baseball. Is that the way you felt it was? Yes, sir. I always treat every game as the same and just play the game. The game doesn't know you anything, so play your hardest. So the start of the game, that first inning, bam, bam, 3 outs each side. It's like, hey, we've got a pitching duel going on. And then you get to the second, and everything starts to happen. I know you can't really see my scorecard here on the screen, but you know, you get the double, the single, the walk, and then you come to the plate and clean them off there. Talk about that AB in the second, what you did and how that felt. So first pitch, I got the take sign, just want to take it, see it. Second pitch, it was kind of ish. Just find the pitch you can hit, and then once I got to that 2 strikes, it's just I almost at this time love to hit with 2 strikes just because you try to protect whatever you can. You're not thinking about anything. Just do the job, do what you can for the ball club. When you get that kind of contribution, you've got an inning going, everybody's becoming a piece of it. I was talking about the next man up. You know, it's contagious. You know, you hand that hot bat to the next guy. So do you feel that in an inning like that where everybody's kind of a feeding frenzy? Yeah, of course. It's kind of like in a track race, you're handing off the baton to the next guy, keep on going until eventually I wouldn't say fall out of energy, but just keep passing the baton as long as you can until you go to the next inning. Visiting with Quinn Majewski here on the Star of the Game. Now, tell me about your thoughts for this year. I mean, you're battling for playing time. You want your piece of the pie. Everybody kind of getting their chops underneath them early. What is your expectations for you and this team this year? Personally, for expectations of myself, I'm going to keep saying it. Do what I can to help the team as much as I can. Not try to do too much, not try to do little. Just whatever you can to help progress the game. And then expectations for the season, I expect pretty high things from us as a team. Just going through practices, we've been doing really well. Fall season, we did insanely well. And then even our first spring game, even though we lost a few to the snow, we played really well. So I expect us to do, I'm going to keep saying it, really well this game. Being a baseball player at PCA, what does that mean? You're a follower of Christ, first of all, and then second, you come here for academics, but then, of course, thirdly, you come here to play the game, play your heart for the game and for Jesus, and do whatever you can to represent that. Absolutely love that. Now, one thing I do not love is the fact this fella is a huge New York Yankee fan from Jersey. Yeah. So, tell us about that. I mean, Aaron Judge's got to be your favorite player, right? Yeah, current favorite player. But, yeah, I grew up in Jersey for a little bit, then traveling all over the place with my dad playing. So always just been a diehard Yankee fan, my whole family. It does make sense. I mean, following your dad, yeah, that would add up. I was looking at your bio because you guys fill these out at the start of the year, and I mean, you've still got a ways to go before you do this. But you said a future career plan might be a police officer. Yes, sir. Police officer or military, depending. If I go to college, I'll study the federal law and then try to become a police officer from there. I've always wanted to do it since I was a kid, and I've been bouncing here and there, and I just went back to that dream recently. And then if that doesn't work out, military, that's what I want to do. How did you get interested in that? What made that pop in your head? Because not everybody has that on their to-do list. So the military part, my mom's side of the family, we're a Navy family. Won't go too much into detail on that. But then as a kid, I've always just liked police officers and movies and all the things. And then looking more into it, personally doing research, I love the community there. It's the same thing on the baseball team. I like the community there and just protecting your country however you can.
Outstanding. Well, listen, congratulations on the win. I mean, I know it feels good. It makes dinner taste better. You get that victory, but continued good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is Quinn Majewski, our star of the game. We'll take another short timeout and wrap it up as PCA wins it tonight 11-4 over Faith. They're 1-0 on the year. A short timeout. We'll wrap after this. This is Prestonwood Baseball from Metro Sports Communications.
The Children's Health Andrews Institute is helping me get back into the swing of things.
They're getting me back to reaching new heights.
Back to sticking the landing.
Back to setting goals and scoring them.
Back to more than a game.
As experts in everything from orthopedics to performance training, we specialize in getting DFW athletes back to doing what they love.
At Paris Baguette, our expertly crafted cakes, decadent pastries and breads, and freshly brewed coffees are always served with a smile. To find your neighborhood bakery cafe, visit parisbaguette.com.
Well, it was a lengthy one, but you get to the finish line with a victory. It all works out well. And again, the final score this evening, PCA 10 and Faith Christian 4. So win number 1 in the books for Faith, for PCA, I should say. Faith falls to 1-1 on the year. And again, congratulations to the Lions. And of course, our star of the game, Quinn Majewski. What a great kid on that interview. Talking to a fine young man right there. And you see a lot of those at PCA, so not really a surprise. But man, it's good to talk to somebody like that to get us started on the year. So with the win, the 7-run second inning was the one that kind of got them started. 7-1 after that inning, and after that, Faith was able to cut it to 7-3 there in the top of the fourth. But PCA with 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, managed to go ahead and put this one on ice. And again, 11-4 the final score. A reminder, we'll be on the air tomorrow at 4:30 with a warm-up show, 5 o'clock for the first pitch, as the Lions and the Lions go back at it again, PCA and Faith. So we invite you to tune in for that. For everyone who has been a part of it here today, including our good friend Barry Walters, who is our great engineer getting everything set. We've got Brooke and Seth on our video, and we welcome a pinch hitter, Ben Stevenson, who steps in into our lead camera and, man, did a wonderful job tonight. Also, Michael Clark, Preston Clark, and everyone who has put it together, everyone getting this one, game 1 in the books, and we hope you enjoyed it as it goes well for the Lions for sure. So tip of the cap to everybody on the staff working overtime. 3-hour game, not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a quick one. I can feel it. For everyone who's been a part, have yourself a great evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 4:30. Until then, from Plano, a reminder, the final score. It was PCA 11 and Faith 4. Chuck Kelly saying so long for now.
Prestonwood Christian Academy Baseball has been brought to you by Freeform Chiropractic, Children's Health, Andrews Institute for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Paris Baguette, Cowboys Fit, Fast Signs North Dallas, Sky Ranch, Aquaterra Outdoors. Also by Texas Tiny Teeth Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics, Up to Date Roofing, Incentive Brands, Chick-fil-A at Plano Parkway and Park Boulevard, Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating, Global Strategic, Milestone Electric, and Vista Physical Therapy. Lions Baseball, an exclusive sports presentation of Metro Sports Communications.